I was on the wrong live. I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button, guys. It never fails. So I was on the other live, but I'm sorry. I'm still I'm still trying to learn how to be on the with these two different phones and things. I, yeah, but so Ethereum is still in second place. Of course, anyone would know that. Anyone would know that. What's up? Hit the like button when you come to the thing. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Hit the like button. First Friday, I was supposed to be in, uh, I was on a different live. I guess I put the wrong pushed the wrong button or something. I don't know. But, so I'm just waiting for the other gentleman to pop in. Hmm. Hey, but anyway, so I what happened was I definitely put the wrong. Well, I put the right link in the thing, but I turned it on the wrong one. I just pushed the live instead of pushing the live that I should have. That would have brought the collaboration together. So I was on a totally different stream. It was crazy for like 10, 15 minutes. So I realized that happens to new people like me. But, well, the weather is nice anyway, so I'm back here, and I'm back here in North Carolina. Thanks again for traveling mercy that I received while I was going there and coming. I definitely feel like the guy that was doing the Father's work, because I was visiting people and in their time when they're uh, otherwise not in good health. A lot of people. There was so many people. I could tell you that they were bedridden, bedridden. I would not want to be at the mercy of the people, and it's not saying this and be kind of in no way um, bashing nurse staff, hospital staff, or nothing. But I don't want to be at the mercy of those people, and because sometimes you call them, somebody can call them too many times, and so I was having I had some I had a lot of things that I was basically no I didn't even expect to it have happened. I didn't even expect these things to have happened, but they happened. and to the people, to these people, which we know are like it's unexpected. So when these things are very unexpected and the timing, so it was for me. It was I feel that I was able to do the Father's work to go and be spend time with people in the time that they were in when they were less not in position is their best health. Because that's when sometimes someone needs not to feel not that you don't want the person to feel forgotten or to feel alone. And a lot of these are some of the people who always were praying for us. For us. These are some of those people. And I was just like, oh man, I enjoyed time with them. I enjoyed the time with them. They look good. I said, oh, you look good. You do. Being hopeful, but being truthful. But they're sick and on their in a hospital bed. And then if I've been in the hospital, so it's like someone's is hopeful in that situation or in that time. It's like I want to have a hopeful output or attitude in the New Year's going forward. You know, so I want to have you know I want to keep hope alive. So we want it to be a green day in the markets. We're hopeful that we do. We'll have a green day in the whole market in the year, especially the first quarter of the year. That's what we're shooting for over here. So, um, as far as it looks on the weekly, I'm gonna see. Let me try to get to another chart. That's easier for me to read because this is not showing me what I want to see. Hey, do me a favor, smash the like button when you come in. I appreciate it. You guys throw the likes up for the New Year's. Happy New Year to you. If you're as excited as I am right now about the direction that things are going in the new year, you're gonna hit that like button. If you're excited about these things that's going on and what's about to happen, you're hitting the like button. Hands down. If not, I ain't mad at you. But I'm bullish. I don't know what that says. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Hey, let me get this other chart. I'm trying to pull this chart. All right, I'm gonna pull up because I need to see. I need to be able to see the chart for the week and for the month a little more clear. So, how you guys doing? How was your New Year's? Let me know if you know. It's the first Friday. It's first Friday of the New Year, so you're here right here with me. I appreciate you for being here with me. So throw the like in there. Now, smash the like button. Let them know. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. Bang! All the green on the screen. Can you see that? You can't see it. Let me show you. It's green. what we got on the screen. I'm telling you, I love the direction in which things are going right now in the markets. Of course, just had the whole holiday thing. People done went out and you know spend all the money and stuff, and next thing you know, you're paying catch up to try to come back. It is what it is. I get that. So, however, if you I think the best time to buy was me personally, and I have talked about the markets, right? I think the best time to have been buying was just a short time ago when everything was down. Of course, that was when everybody was out. But I mean, you had discount prices everywhere, even on these. Now look, it's all green after the fact. So you're recouping, you're recovering from, the whole holiday um, attack. And this stuff is popping. Look at these numbers, they busting. These numbers are busting. That's the word. It's busting. Yeah. XRP back up over $2. Now, I'm gonna show you the month. Oh no, I'm gonna show you the week. Well, I don't think this chart is the week looks good. I like this weekly. I like that. Weekly or the day. Just a day. And then last hour. The last hour. You're in the right direction. Is it sustainable? I don't know. Will it turn around and crash and burn? We're just getting started for the New Year's. Trust me. This is the direction the market's going. Now, I don't know where I gave a guy's had his link to come through here and drop some. He's gonna drop some powerful information that he knows about some of this stuff in the investments. Oh, we're getting some movement now. Upward movement. I think it's gonna wind up going parabolic on this show. I swear, I'm telling you. While I'm having an interview with this guy, I mean, I think the numbers are going to start really pushing up. I hands down, I'm almost I'm pretty positive of that. That's very possible can happen because it's Friday night. Some price action. It's after the holidays. It's the New Year's. I think it's time to start, kind of pushing forward with things. And they were having so many different. There was so much on. I haven't been on Twitter in a long time, or X. I'm sorry, X. I said Twitter. I haven't been on X in a long time. But if you go on X and you follow some of these, I think the they're developers, but the developers have a site on X. Every one of them, even exchanges, they have their X accounts. But if you follow, I would say the developers. Usually, those are the ones that you can find out about airdrops. That's like Charles Hoskinson, and he's the founder of the Cardano. And I haven't been on X in a while because that's why I just get a lot of information. But it was just too much of a bombard. I was all people going X all the time. But what's trending up there? Um, these airdrops right now, I think that they're gonna, once they do pass the that Clarity Act, that's what's gonna unleash these airdrops. I mean, I could be wrong, but what are you doing? What the heck is she doing? So what is she doing? Look at my puppy. Look at my girl. She's not a puppy no more. Right, Mama? You're not a puppy no more. You used to be a little girl. She ain't getting too big. She's gonna get that big. I think you're gonna get. She's getting a little bigger. Mhm. And I don't got no snacks and no treats to give her. I should have at least a treat or something, because that's what she wants right now. A treat. And she wants some affection, right? You want some affection. I gotta keep an eye on her. So, but yes, Happy New Year's, y'all. More people come in. I think I'm definitely want to wish you guys a very stop it. What the heck are you doing? Stuff's crazy. I want to wish you guys a happy New Year, very happy New Year, safe, prosperous New Year's, best New Year's ever. You know what I'm saying? To you and yours. I'm not taking this. How you doing, homeless woman? How are you? Happy New Year's. How are you? Good. See, thank you for coming into live. Hey, I'm, hey, I haven't been on here, so I've been traveling, but I'm back home. This New Year's was a lovely one. See, I'm getting this type of attention from my puppy because they're like starving for affection from me because I've been gone. But it was. How was your New Year's? How was your New Year? How was your New Year's? You're blessed to be here. We're all blessed to be here. You know it. So yeah, I'm like, man, of course, absolutely with us. I'm like, man, I I I really did feel like the movie guy, but over the over that time, from the Christmas to first week of the New Year, I felt like the guy in that movie. Just I don't know. And it was, I mean, it's a blessing to be here. So for those people that I did see, and then I was telling the story before, like I had someone that lost someone over the holiday weekend, and I was, I'm there, I'm in town, and they're dear to me, very dear to me. That whole family, seriously, like dear to me, and like, and I was in town. I was like, oh my goodness, and I was able to be there in that moment to kind of help to bring some kind of support and you know condolences to the family, of course, and comforting them in that time because it's through the holidays. And I did that everywhere I went. Believe me, I was at so many people's different people I visited. Like I said, were at a hospital, in a convalescent home, and left from out the hospital because they signed them out because they were going to go home and have like a hospice at the home. And everyone that everywhere that I went, everywhere that I had went, I felt so blessed to be there to have some time with the family and everybody, because there was like so many people that were kind of I hadn't seen in so long, and the opportunity for me to be there, as much as I have, a relationship with them. Timing's never was, for that type of any type of stuff. Like we were friendly. Lost sister, she was close to me, so like. And the holidays are for family and friends, and this was a time that was very, very sensitive for me and for so many people. I think for all of us, it was, and it's a blessing. We have to count our blessings that we're here, and we got to look forward, move forward, and that's what we have to be doing, and encouraging one another to do that too. You know, exactly. We have to be, and there are people that just to be in their presence is a blessing, because you know what, you can give them encouragement. So if you can give somebody a good, a word of, that lets them know that they are not forgotten about, and you know, you sympathize with their pain. It's important to do that for some people. Man, I swear it is. My dog has affection. She loves affection. She's an animal. We're human beings. We're people. We're affectionate people. A lot of times we stuff our feelings so deep and so down so that we don't have to, come to face with them. And those are our emotions, our feelings. We really have to live with. Amen, man. One day at a time. One day at a time. And it's like that with the markets as well. And that's what I would say, like, to someone, like, if you're watching the markets, if you're watching it one day at a time, and you want some, you do want to get a return on the investment, all right? There will probably be coming up with there's supposed to be going to be ways where you can earn an interest or earn a yield against the assets. And if you're earning yield against your asset, then ideally that's what you want to do anyway. You just you don't want to sell it. Selling is when they tax you, and taxes. Oh, it shouldn't be have to pay all these taxes. We pay far too many taxes. But the tax man comes around every year, just like, hey, what's up? That's the tax man. He's gonna do that. So you make sure you're able to give to the system. But what is it called? Your capital gain tax is your capital gain tax. Uh, Long term capital gain tax and short term capital gain tax are two totally different brackets. So you want to invest and hold for the long term, so you don't have to pay such a high tax, right? And usually, if it's over a year that you've held an asset, and this is the thing, you have to be thinking long term. If you're not thinking long term, it's not worth it to put your money in these markets. And I'm telling you that from experience, but I'm not a licensed financial advisor. We'll do the disclaimer here and now This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And there's nothing that I say here that is financial. Don't should be not. This should not be considered as financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes. It's my own understanding and of said markets. Okay, do not buy, hold, or feel like you're gonna go trade or sell or be accumulating anything that's mentioned from my mouth or anybody that comes on the show to um, to say, hey, I took and put my inheritance money into any asset. Your show, you were talking about doing it. Look, this is what I'm drinking here has me very intoxicated. I would not trust anything that you hear coming out of my mouth because I'm giving you a disclaimer right now. I have had something to drink. Okay, there. But you can't come over here and blame me for that bad investment that you choose to make yourself without doing your research and your homework. So I'm just really kind of I think hey puppy. I think that the direction that the market is going right now, though, the crypto is gonna pop off and boom, and you know the future is. Uh, I was gonna ask the question if quantum computers can hack everything, or they can not hack, but they can solve. And they're not even hacking. We look at hacking as, oh, they cracked the code, right? What quantum computers can do is they just speed up so much of the variables. The variables. This is how they're able to crack the codes. There's so many different variables and combinations and everything that you can try to say, oh, we'll try this combination. We'll try that combination. Quantum computers does it so freaking fast to figure out any variable of a to solve a problem that they're able to breach all these systems, these said systems, without certain uh, things that are in place to stop that. Your your data can be susceptible to a breach. Your data could be susceptible to a breach, a hack, right? Unless it's quantum proof. There you go. How many people know that? They didn't know that. If you know that, put it in the comments. I said, yeah, I know that. Hey, what are you doing? Stop pulling my thing. What is the matter with you? No. Stop it. Stop it. She's mad. She's mad. So now, if you have a I'm looking at the markets popping. These numbers are popping up, up, up. Okay, up. XRP is trying to get over $2.03 to $2 and a nickel. What? $2 and a nickel. These markets. I think that once we get the Clarity Act, uh, what's the matter? once we get the Clarity Act, I believe that the crypto markets are really going to take off. But I think there's already the institutional positioning themselves with these assets because they really understand the power that lies within. They really understand it. Hey, I appreciate the likes. Swizzy, yes, how you doing? What's going on? Then X combos. Yeah. He says, yo, Swizzy. Then X. I remember then X. I responded to then X a few times. I went on your page too. Hey, so it's really simple with this. I'm trying to point out long term. Okay, if like so I'm long term. It makes sense to hold these assets for long term, basically, because what happens is as adoption takes place, once the Clarity Act and all of that comes to fruition, you're not going to see these assets at these prices. They're already, going back up to all-time highs or trying to reclaim, you know, um, reclaim what was once a resistance and use it as a support level. So they're going to try to go to pushing upwards to where, boom, they meet a resistance at as the number climbs. Well, while that's resisting and pushing it down, they're trying to get on top of it and use that as a bounce and that support as they go higher because they come back down, bounce off of it, and it'll support the drop. And so they're turning resistance into a support to move higher. That's what I see in the markets. And that's how I'm just explaining it to you because I use that analysis. You probably heard the term. It's pushing up higher, and as I love to see that happen because it shows growth. And this is the new year. We need to see some growth. And once the legislation and stuff comes, I think that the discounted prices are going because of all the holidays you had the discount. And it was a great time to buy. Now it becomes more expensive. So what was once probably a cup of coffee is probably going to cost you, I don't know, a little more for just one or two or three or four or however many hundred. The unit price is going to go up, and it's going to go up pretty steep because once they start printing money, which the Fed's are going to do, and assets like these that are kind of riskier, higher risk, high reward, right? And this is not financial advice, but the higher risk, higher reward. And so there's a lot of upside once it can get past some resistance. There's a lot of upside. That's all I can say. And how much once it goes to price discovery, you don't know where it's going to be. And think numbers were going to go as high as they did when they were talking about, you know, you know, this coin or that coin or this coin, and you go look at it today and say, whoa, well, yeah, there's just as much upside to any of these coins. Not all of them, but when you say any of them, well, what happens with this one decides to go parabolic, right? It decides to go parabolic, and it has all this upside. You got a nice bag full of them. You're going to the moon. You are going. That's what you know. You are going to the moon. That's it. And then there'll be it's gonna be people will get priced out of that coin just like that. Yeah, I can go probably jump in and get one. Hopefully, one is gonna become your golden ticket. But like the Wonka Land, and the dude that he had his golden ticket, and then he told him, "You get nothing, Charlie, nothing," because he done did something over there. you know, and this dude was mad at the end. He's telling him, "You gotta go home. Come on, Charlie." He was like, "Come on, Charlie. You don't need this place now. We got that chocolate candy." But that was what he had to do at the end of that movie. That's what he had to do. That was funny. That was crazy. But Charlie thought he came there. He had the magic ticket, that one ticket, that one crypto. But if you find the right one, and there's a lot of upside, if I mean, there's a bunch of them to pick from. I do know that. I do know that. But it's crazy to think that that's seriously the case here. That's seriously the case here. I'm not a gambler. I don't give gambling advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not advise people to do whatever you do. What you do with your money. I don't sports bet. I'm a long term investor in these cryptos. That's what I was doing. And I'm a truck driver, so. But tonight we're talking about the market is coming back. These coins are looking like they're waking up. And I'm gonna tell you something. Over the holidays, you had a good time to buy it for cheap. It ain't gonna be cheap too much longer. No, sir, it's going back up. Yes, it is. It's going back up. We got a bull market. It looks like we're going in the green, baby. That's what it looks like. And I'm glad to see it. I love to see it. I love it. I want to wake up and see some good numbers in my daggone portfolio. I sure do. Especially after the holidays, man. Say you go out and you overspend or something like that, which, I was so broke. I went so broke. I was in New York, in the city, in Manhattan. That was it. After that, I got my train ticket to come back. I was so broke that night. New York will break your pockets. I went broke in the city, yeah, for New Year's. Um, well, I wasn't there when the bar dropped, but we went up there like a few days before I made the video. I had a good time. And it was just like, yeah. So where was I at? With the it was just funny. It was. But these things are gonna pop I'm not a financial advisor, but because I went broke. I've gone broke. Like I just said. I did go just broke just recently in New York. So don't take my financial advice on anything, but investing in these markets right here, I'm still bullish. I'm still bullish about what's happening because I like what I've seen on the screen. Now, the other thing about that is there's 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 the guy I was talking about here. Look at him. The other thing that I was talking about is Hey, peace, God. What's going on?
Peace, peace, Op.
Hey,
What's
the
going
other
on?
thing I was just saying that dang, what I was just saying. Uh, oh, so I was in New York, and New Yorker, I, I, I didn't know, I didn't expect to kind of run out of money up there, but it happened, and it happened kind of strangely. I was sitting there eating, and I mean, I paid for my food, and I was able to pay, but I kind of was like, oh man, you know. So then I had to catch a train back and stuff. So
Mm.
cut to trying to buy my ticket on the train, and I was like, oh man, I was just worried, like, what is going on? My money is getting lower and lower and lower. So I was like, man, it was tough. But what's going on with you, man? How you doing today? Happy New Year's to you.
Yes, yes. Happy New Year, brother.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
2026 to you.
Yes, yes. It's a
You know,
good
this is
year off
the
to a start right now.
yes. This is
Yeah.
the year of build, destroy to add on for a year of elevation. You
There
know what I'm
you go.
saying?
So we're off to in the green. We're in the
Yes.
green right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, I see. That's what I'm saying. Elevation. We're
Yeah,
moving
yeah,
up.
yeah, man.
That's what's up.
So
Yeah, no, I'm just getting in from work and shit. I just finished breaking bread. That's why I was a little late. But you know, other than
I
that, just trying to stay focused. You know,
definitely, definitely. Well, I tell you, man, y'all got a lot of cold weather up there where you at. I tell you that, man. And
yeah, it's
it,
definitely that season change.
yeah, it's nice. It's like about 50 degrees here, so it's gonna get warmer, a little
Hmm.
warmer, and I don't know, man. That how much longer before you start turning to like the season? You're just getting kind of almost
Winter
middle,
just
mid,
started.
yeah, or just getting started.
Yeah, December 21st. Cold kicked in, but we probably got another 2 months. Which ain't bad. Keep your immune system and everything in check, strong. Change of the weathers and stuff. You
I
know,
hear you. I
all
hear you.
four seasons.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hmm. But hey, it's like everything else, pros and cons, good and bad. That's it. Just gotta be able to adapt.
Well, yeah, that's life.
That's what
You
I'm
know,
saying. Yes, exactly.
that's life, and that's what we do. So shoot, you know what I'm saying. We find a situation and we in this, we find ourselves in at a point where it's your best interest,
Hmm.
and as far as and what would be natural. What would anyone be doing in a situation of the sort? And you're acting accordingly, just your basic instinct, like you follow your.
Yes, sir. Always go back to nature.
You've these like a lot of times it's people's strategies. A lot of times when a person has a strategy of like what they what they focus on, right? I'm focused on these winning numbers, and I'm not focusing on any losses because sometimes the pullbacks, and people take sometimes it's focus more on when there's a loss,
Hmm.
and I think that hinders long term growth. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And
That's part of business, though. It's gonna be losses. You know,
yeah,
so it can't be. It shouldn't be unexpected. You should be prepared for losses and pullbacks and stuff like that. There's a chance to add on. To accumulate more when it gives a little pullback, 2%, 3%, to jump up. You
and
know,
then jump up and be ahead 4% or 2%. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. And that's usually what happens. You gain 5 to lose 2 to then go up 7. So it's an up and down game. It's a wave, liquid. It's like the tide with the moon and currency, nautical talk. Oh
And
yeah.
all right. And if you put it into a cipher, how would you put it into a cipher?
What you mean? How would you put it into a cipher?
Yeah,
Making it complete,
yeah,
starting from knowledge to born.
yeah.
Well,
This currency,
oh, phew. Yeah,
the
man.
currency that we talking about.
I mean,
There we go, Lord.
being the original, foundation of it wasn't currency. It was basically trade and barter. Before the currency was really into effect. You know, and then once the currency came into effect, it just kind of made trade and barter easier, and then it just took over. Was affected into every aspect of everything. You know, the Japanese created the candlesticks when they trade in rice packages and bundles and shit. And next thing
Mhm.
you know, the stock market was created, and then now you got cryptocurrency created, which is this digital money. So it's a whole nother level. It's a whole bunch of ciphers being complete to elevate to where we are now. Mhm.
Quantum computers. The
See, that's a
quantum
whole
com-
it's a whole nother cipher, about to be into existence, or it's already in existence, but on the mainstream.
How now this saying that okay if you because this is the thing if the quantum computer is so smart it doesn't hack things it figures everything out. Your system has some kind of a password. It'll figure that out. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? And be able to get into it, any system, rather than hacking it. It just figures out the codes, right? There's no code because it figures out things that would take
It's like a
a
safe
normal
cracker.
regular system such a
Hmm.
vast amount of time to actually be able to come up with some kind of answers. That thing
It's
does
the
it
speed.
in
Yeah,
the
the speed.
split seconds.
Hmm.
So how is it that? I mean, how do you get? They talk about quantum proof.
Hmm.
Is quantum proof an open door? That's what I want to ask. Because a door that's closed is a door that's locked, and then you have to have a lock, right? And if we use
Hmm.
digital locks or encryptions to kind of use as passwords to get back in that door once we close it. If we leave the door open, is it quantum proof? So the knowledge is just there. But it's
I
there in a
mean,
door that's open. But is the door ever closed or locked under security? Because there's nothing for quantum to figure out. if it doesn't have to breach a security password. So you're not trying to be um, hacked or hack proof. You just open source, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your goods are good there.
Yeah. I
I mean, I
mean,
don't know.
I don't know how. I really don't know how they're gonna integrate the quantum with everyday theories. I thought that was more like for problem solving and complex mathematic computations and shit like that. But
Yeah, but it's still got a breach. I mean, nothing is said to be, nothing is said to be so. Everything is, you're talking about data breaching now, or, identity theft now. You know what I'm saying? Or
mm-hmm.
private security and stuff that is under a firewall, or a two-factor authentication.
Your
Okay,
VPN.
is yes. So is and something all encrypted and heavy level securities and stuff. This is all blockchain technology too.
Mm-hmm.
That's all some blockchain encryption and everything. But what quantum computer is? It's the information that it spits out, I guess, right? The speed of
The speed of it, yeah.
the throughput. The throughput is the final, you know,
The thing is, by the time it comes out with quantum, it's been cross-examined and researched multiple
fact check.
times. Yeah, multiple times before it comes, to output. You know,
Yeah. For the output, so the
so so
through
like a human checking it, it may take 2 hours if you have like five different humans checking it, and with the quantum is like 200, like as if you put an example for like 2,000 humans checking it at the speed,
and checking for each other's mistakes.
mistakes, yeah,
Yeah.
proofreading and going back and making sure everything is correct before it spits out the like I said, the computation.
And so the throughput for that, by the time they give you that final, response or whatever, here's the answer here. You know how back in the days they used to wait for the computer to bring it out. The brain of the computer would be there to be in there thinking. Then it would come out somewhere, stand there and read it. This
Whole big thick stack of shit.
actually do that. Yeah.
Then you got to read it.
And that was what it said it was. But that technology today is now on smart contracts,
Hmm.
okay,
DApps and all of that and everything.
dApps, decentralized protocols.
Hmm.
Soon, I'm telling you, soon, and I wouldn't doubt that right now you you can't do it because I'm sure you can. Depends who the vendors or whoever the people, the middle people or whatever, somebody. Because in all of this, there's still going to be those jobs for that middle person. Just
Hmm.
even though this, even I still believe that what happens. This is what I believe what happens with the crypto and the real world usage.
Yeah, that's
You got to have somebody that you are talking to that is able to translate this in plain English for the masses, because even if they flip the switch and all banks that are ISO 220 are in compliance with whatever software they're using, you know what I'm saying, or whatever blockchain they use, whichever on chain or off chain they use,
mm,
right? At the end of the day, you got to reach the people because you're going to touch their money. You're gonna, if say they even do, oh, you got these CBDCs. and
Mm.
that's probably a keyword. I don't know, a trigger word for the algorithm. I don't want, I don't, because we get, oh, they talking about CBDCs. Don't push this out to the people.
Hmm.
But if the,
Well,
you
now
know,
they want the CBDCs, the central banks.
yeah, how people just go ahead and say, yeah, I'll do it. Here's another here's another thing that was funny I too, because Universal ID, CBDC,
Hmm.
and real world assets or whatever.
Hmm.
It all has a play into things. So I'm coming through the airport, and I have to give my ID. So the sign says that it's optional if you want to use your eye retina.
Your
It's
what?
optional. That is optional.
If you want to use your what?
Your eye, your facial recognition thing,
Or your biometrics and all that.
biometrics.
Yeah.
That's optional because
Hmm.
you could present your ID as long as you're carrying the real ID.
Yeah,
Once
that's
you give
true.
them your real ID, you don't have to. I mean, they'll ask you to look into the eye thing there,
Hmm.
and but the sign there says that the eye thing is optional, and it also says that if you choose that you want to opt into going and doing your eyes retina scan, there are
Hmm.
other promotions and things that they were um, offering, but that was your choice. And so while I was at the airport, I just gave him my ID and okay, then look into the thing. So I asked the guy after I did it, but I said it's not my first time because I've done that when we got on and off a cruise ship, right? But I asked him, I said, "Is that optional?" Because I gave you my ID.
Hmm.
He said, "Yes, optional." I said, "Why you asked me to do it? I didn't. I like if it's optional and you have that machine there. That's like me wanting to say." I'll use self checkout or I'll go to the person who's here working that's behind the desk if they have a register that's open, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Hmm.
Then you just kind of put me over here to give my eye retina into the daggone thing, and it's optional, but I really still don't want y'all taking my eye retina. You keep taking pictures and want me to come over here and giving you that authorization now
Hmm.
to get to abstract that from me, and there you have it. And what are you gonna use it for? So now that system there, right there, is
Feeding
has
it to the AI,
yeah,
to the LLM.
yeah, but that's it's optional if you want to do that. That's what I thought.
Hmm.
More so than they just have it there, and then they got the people there with the uniforms and stuff that are I guess almost they're training the people to do this,
Yeah.
and they're training them to do this. The people that work there, and I'm like saying to myself, I know you training them, but you ain't got to train them. You just sit that thing there. You know what I'm saying? It's there, but it should be there optional. So when they come and they walk up to you and hand you their ID, that's what they're choosing to do. Hand you an ID. If they walk up to you and they choose to go over to that thing, you don't gotta worry about that person because all you gotta do is look at the screen. If they go over to that machine because they choose to go over there, which it's optional, you look at that machine
Mm.
and go whatever. It'll come up on the screen to notify the guy that they good.
Oh.
He gotta be looking at something other than their ID that's gonna give them clarity. Even if he takes my ID and just looks at it and examines it. But now they don't just take the ID because the ID is not a real ID unless it's ran through some other uh,
What, machine?
verification type of. Yeah, I guess so.
No, I
My
thought the real ID had the star or the certification.
yeah. Did you ever have that on your driver's license?
No, I didn't get that one yet. I just use my passport right now.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's the other thing. I saw some people do that. They have their passport, but I guess when you go to get your ID, you'll get one of those. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have one.
Mm-hmm.
The one I got now, you know, I have all of that stuff so I can go through the airport, but I got the TSA, I got all of that crazy stuff, right? I got all of it pre-checked, but I still
The
ask the question.
TSA pre-check and all that shit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is where I flew. Leaving out of there, you don't have. Only thing it does is you don't got to take off your shoes.
Mm.
You got to take off your shoes.
Yeah, but that line be less.
Oh yeah, yeah. The line is quick. You go over all them people that's going around all over there. You just go through the other side of there, go there, and give them
Yeah.
the thing. They give you like a yellow or whatever. It's
Hmm.
like you got a freaking
My wife be like, "See you later. See you on the other side." I'm like,
yeah. You got to get that,
I know.
man. And then see, yeah. Once they give you that little, it's like a yellow thing, like a bookmark or something. You just walk
Hmm.
through with that. You know, give it to the people. You straight. I ain't getting on the line. No, thank you. I'm gonna be over there already getting some food, whatever the case is.
You try
Yeah,
and go be in the lounge or some shit.
yeah,
There you
that,
go.
yeah. I ain't mess with it, but so I had to go through the TSA twice because I dropped my ticket. I don't know how I dropped the ticket or what I did with it. I lost it, but I had to go through the TSA twice. So I had to go back around. Well, they could have printed me another ticket over there,
Fuck.
but there was so many flight delays, right? There was a flight delay. Some people have been there for like 11 hours.
Where you left out of?
I left out a tweet,
Mm.
and there was a lot of people. So I did not want it. It
You
would
don't
have been
got it on
fast.
your phone? Your boarding pass?
Uh, I probably did, but I still just knew I could get the.
You just gotta download the app
Yeah, I
for
probably. I
for
mean,
Velo or whatever.
but here's the thing. I think once I had checked in, I was checked in, right? And they could have got once I got past TSA and I got in onto the thing, um, they would have easily just been able to print me out another boarding pass. That's what the guy told me. Only reason I went all the way back through everything, it would have been fast, and it was faster for me to go do that than all of those people that were in there that were delayed. That was over there by them people stand in that line to get up front because now they're probably looking at me like, "Where's he going?" Trying to get up to the people at the front so that I can. It was too many people there, and it's a small airport. That's
Hmm.
the other thing about that airport. It's a very small airport, so once a flight is delayed, there were people that the lady said her flight was delayed 11 hours.
Yeah,
That's
mine was delayed like that before too.
yeah. I was
But I
glad that
didn't
mine
stay
was
there. Nor did I
man.
stay there.
No, I wouldn't have stayed there. I wouldn't not that long. I would have been like, "Hey, you gotta come get me, bring me back later on or something." But
Hmm.
and plus my daughter's only like 20, not even 20, 15 minutes away from there. There's no way I would have stayed there 11 hours if that was my flight. But I wanted to get my ticket back, go back through, get my ticket, and make sure that I was, once I had it, I tucked it in my jacket, zipped it up, and said, I ain't missing my flight because now they say, oh, we are calling all passengers flying on such and such, going to so and so. We're gonna start boarding, and I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the? Oh, I would have freaked out. Yeah, so once I came through there with my bags and I got my bags, I got my stuff and I started looking for my ticket. I'm like, yo, where's my ticket? I lost my ticket. I just freaking had it. I just had it. I was like, bro, I mean, I said, all right, man, I gotta go back to this thing. Because I ain't missing the flight. I ain't going. I walked up there. I walked up around. I went through and walked up. I talked to the security guy. He said, this is what he says. Oh, that flight's been delayed. He telling me about the people whose flight was delayed for 11 hours. My flight's leaving on time. Mind you, I wasn't, I got there with some time to check in. But if I listen to this guy and I looked at the board, he said that flight got delayed to 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock? My flight's supposed to be leaving at 7. I got there around 6. You know, I got there about at least an hour early. I was at least an hour on time. You know, not to me, and to my daughter, she was like, "No, you got to be there. You know, don't play around."
Yeah.
And we
Be
don't.
there 2 hours.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a small airport, but I should have been there probably 2 hours early.
Because
But
it'd be taking forever. And, well, you got TSA pre-check, so you could.
yeah, that's the only thing. I because I have that, but you know, still, I had, and that's why I had to go through. And I went through it quick the second time again to get, you know, even though there were people, I went through everything really quick the second time. I just went back, and even a guy that printed me my ticket the first time, he said, "You're back." I said, "Yeah." I told him what happened, and I explained to him. He was like, "No, bro." I was like, "Ah, man, thank you. Happy New Year's again." You know. Yeah, and I tucked that ticket right in my jacket pocket. Went back through all of that stuff, and made sure I had my ticket. But yeah, you guys got the cold weather. You can have it. I'm back here in North Carolina.
So you look like you dressed for the same weather.
Well, I threw a sweater on, but I had a scarf on too, and I started sweating. I was like, but it's a little chilly. It's not like it, you know, it's not. But you know, I was walking my dog, so we were we were moving a little bit. So I worked up a kind of a little, you know, body temperature, but it wasn't like I was sweating like that. But I had a scarf on too, so I didn't need the scarf, but I wore the scarf anyway, just in case. I didn't know if it was going to be a little chilly out there. You could wear a sweater around this time, but it's like 50 degrees, so this is kind of overdue.
Not over here.
Well, that was this afternoon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, once the sun go down, it's cold.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know it's gonna get cold at night. So I said I'm just gonna ride, you know. And I'm bullish. I'm telling you, I got the green on because there's green on the screen. That's what it is. You got, you know. I think the markets are turning around for the new year. What do you think?
I don't know. Remember, they did this last January after the election. I mean, once Trump got into the office, shit was up, and then bang, shit just start caving. Long as Trump don't talk about no tariffs and shit, that was the trigger word, making everything drop, man.
Yeah, people was afraid of that. When as soon as you say that, you start up. It was pulling out,
Pulling out, you know.
pulling out. Yes, sir. You're right.
So I
Well,
don't know. This year seemed like I'm just something's got to kick in with all the regulation going on for the crypto and you know all the hype and the push for the adoption and everything. So I don't know if it's gonna kick in just yet. You know, they're gonna keep people waiting. But like I said, they still trying to get all their buddies and boys in. You know, to get in at a good number, which right now is a good number. If it can come up from here, you still in at a good number.
oh
You
yeah,
know, I
it's
don't
this.
know. I don't know how much further they want their peoples to get in. Excuse me.
Yeah, because if you look at a lot of these coins, and that's the other thing.
So What is that? What, like 190 now?
Which one?
XRP.
Right now, no, it's $2.02.
Okay, $2.02. That's nice.
Yeah, it's over the
So you
$2.
figure a 20% correction is 40 cents, right? So that would bring that down back to 160.
They
You
ain't
know,
gonna do that. A 20% correction. I don't think that's. I mean, you might be seeing something I don't see, but I don't. 20% from there. It's already on the year fifteen
it's still,
percent. It's
yeah,
it's 15%, well, almost 16% down
from,
from the year to date, and that changes as
oh, from the
time
year to date. Yeah.
that changes as time goes on. But
I'm saying from the all-time high, I mean, from the high this year or last year was what, $3 and some 340, something like that.
354,
Oh,
three
so
fifty five
that's that's almost a 50% correction there.
right now.
Yeah. Well, from 350, 50% correction would be 175. So now we're at $2. So it's like 40% from earlier this year. Right around now was when it was right $3 and some change, right?
Uh, that was no, that was around July.
In July or April or something.
In July,
Because I haven't been up that high since Liberation Day, right? Liberation Day was April 2nd, April 12th, some shit when Trump came out with all the tariffs, the deadline, the last extension.
April, the price was. If you're talking about the month of April, the price was down like it is actually right now.
Now, okay.
Like it is now. It's all through, pretty much all through April. It looked like it was only in $2. Then we got the
Mm,
$2.29.
mm. Then it
But then,
started
yeah,
retracing from there.
yeah,
And so you said the all-time high was in June, July, not all time, but the year high.
that would have been like in July, around July, month of from like it started to rally by like in the beginning of July. It went,
July of 2025
yeah,
or 24.
that's 2025. It went from like $2 and uh, $2.17, and then it shot up to like $3.50,
Mm.
and that was last year.
Oh,
So
2025. Mm-hmm.
2025, yeah. But at the
Mm.
low, like I said, the low probably at the low. It was at the low of 2025. It was $1.97.
Mm.
A dollar
Like right
ninety.
where it is now, man.
Sorry.
Right around where it is now, right? You said $2.02.
Yeah, $2 or two. Yeah, so that's that was a year ago, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It was a year ago.
I don't know. I just think it's gonna be another retrace before it takes off.
You want to see it retrace more?
I don't want it to, but I think that's what's gonna happen. I wouldn't mind seeing it retrace so I could get in a little low, you know, and then pop off. I'm trying to see if there's any fair value gaps that haven't been filled or anything down below.
And see, that's why I should have had Issa here to discuss that with you because if there's gaps there that have to get filled, they're gonna have to get filled.
I
What
mean,
happens during that time
eventually,
when there's no trading?
what
Why is the gap? Why is no trading during that
the
period?
the
That's
gap
how.
is the gap is usually like a lot of time once the price settle, once they do the open to close and high and the low of the day, once they settle for whatever arrangements with the CFTC and whatever it is, CBOE and all that,
Mm,
it's usually a gap once it starts in the aftermarket. It's either a gap up or a gap down. A lot of times when it's real volatile, you know, but it's just basically a lot of the sentiment basically will be pushing it. The sellers feel like they want to take over, so it might gap down. The buyers feel like they want to take over, it might gap up. But then a lot of time that gap fills and then it reverses back in the same direction. So if
all
it
right,
gaps
got it.
up,
Yeah.
it'll come back down to fill that gap and then reverse back up. It's the same thing, vice versa, the other way around. So, and then you usually get the fair value gaps, like when you have a big institutional buy. The price will gap up, jump up, and then the next few candles won't fill the gap, so it won't fill the price won't come all the way back to that area where it jumped up. So eventually, the price will come back to that gap.
Mm.
Price is usually
It's
a
like
magnet,
inflated.
a,
It's
a
just what?
magnet. Yeah,
It's like an inflated price. The
like
price gets.
when you get that big engulfing wick, you know, it usually causes a gap in between because if you look at the previous gaps, even though you might see the body of a candle and then the wick, usually the wicks are usually like I won't say interlocking, but they're overlapping. I mean, you know, even though you won't see the whole full body, but most of the time, the wicks will overlap. Now, when the wicks don't overlap, that's when there's the imbalance in between that engulfing candle. And that's where your fair value gap is and shit. So and a lot of times that gap is a magnet eventually for price to come back to, depending on how strong it took off, and in either direction. So a lot of times I try to put my orders in around the fair value gap or order block because usually when it's a fair value gap, it's either an order block just below it if it's a buy, or just above it if it's a sell. The
Mhm.
supply and demand zone, in those areas and shit. So you try to follow behind those order blocks when you want to get in and get out. And if you start to notice where those fair value gaps are, you kind of dictate what's a good order block and what's not a good order block. Mhm. But yeah, what's up with Issa, man? We gotta get Issa on here, man, so we can chop it up, man. I
I
like to hear the young boys' insight. I got my son and my nephew sparked on this trading and investing shit. My son sent me some some like the info stuff I'll be sending you from he's read something and then he sent me some clips about some more strategies for learning for beginners learning how to trade and shit like that. So I got both of them sparked on that shit. And that's good, man. At a young, I said, man, shit, you could be a millionaire by the time you're 30, man. You fucking around out here, you know?
mm.
Shit. Or billionaire. Shit, sky's the limit because they thinking quadrillions now. They ain't even thinking trillions no more, man. Shit is crazy.
Well, they know now, how to use all these investment vehicles and different, financial tools.
Yep. At a
Uh,
young age.
yeah, at that age, they start to kind of. It's like giving a kid a smartphone at an early age, and
Yeah.
we think these little kids are capable of doing so.
They know how to
Now,
work that shit better than you.
yeah, they're so smart with the smartphones. Like the kids is really
Yeah.
good at it. Like sometimes you're like, yo, man, my phone buggy. Give it to the kid, they can
They
fix
done
it.
fixed it.
You know?
Yeah.
And it'd be a new phone too. Like this is crazy
It's crazy.
with them. The tech, having that knowledge and having that, at their fingertips, of and those different investment opportunities and different
Hmm.
vehicles to grow and put the money into the fast pace, the fast, quick rate of return.
Or
You
risk,
know, yeah, the
stick
high
and
risk,
move.
high
Yeah.
reward, in out or whatever. They are
They
living.
more in tune with that. They like in tune with that shit. Like,
They they are
you know
living
how,
in a time where
yeah,
for their age, these young kids, whether
smart
we
contracts, smartphones, all that crazy,
whether we
But
know to realize it or not, they're built for this stuff. Like
yeah,
more than they even know. You
yeah,
know?
their generation, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
because
like
their generation is digital. Our generation was analog, and now we trying to grow into digital. They came up digital, you
yeah.
know, so it's different. They adapt to that information quick, like for us, we kind of stuck in the analog, so we gotta debug our thoughts from analog to be in the digital sphere. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy though. But then, you know, we pay attention to that stuff. We try to bring it and drop that seed, plant that seed on them, and then eventually just keep watering that seed, and then the fruit will grow. And basically that's our duty anyway, man. If we can grow and sow our own fruit and show them how to plant and sow and grow their own fruit, and they have the technology to do it 10 times faster or better or smarter or whatever, then shit, we're gonna reap those benefits too, you know shit.
Well, I mean, these computers are very very smart. They can outthink a lot of the smartest people.
Hmm.
At this point, you know what I'm saying. Um, we are we are original people. You know what I'm saying? There's so much more to our makeup than a computer or anything
Hmm.
like that could ever comprehend.
In fact,
And as
it's
fast
more
as it is,
complex. Yeah.
as fast as it is, quick as it'll try to learn so much about you, it can't catch the tailwinds
Hmm.
of somebody that's on their best day. And even on a bad day, somebody it can't even get that.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
people got to remember all the computer and the AI and all that shit only as smart as the human. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's smarter than the humans, but it's only as smart as the human. Whoever's prompting it or commanding it. So it's always going to need that human effect. Because it has to be of nature in order to rule man. That's artificial intelligence, which is meaning that it's coming from man being recreated to try and assist man, basically. So still have to have that human aspect, or it's not going to be able to function. It will self-destruct or whatever, because this planet here was created for man, human as the supreme being. Not robots and shit. Robots and shit is still commanded by the human. You know, maybe some other planet that the robots might create for themselves and shit in the future or some crazy shit. But that's a movie and shit. That's a whole nother script for a movie. And shit.
they go to another planet and start building and creating their
Yeah,
own
create their
weather,
own shit. Yeah.
own power grid.
all of that.
On learning center. Like we learning, it's like, oh man, that's.
Everything that's counter or anything that's counterproductive or that could make them deteriorate or be reduced or removed from society will be outcast in their fucking world. Like water, water to rust in robots, but the robots ain't gonna be made out of metal and shit no more. The motherfuckers made out of some other fucking material now and shit. The humanoid robots, shit's crazy, man.
Or not just metal.
Nah, it's not metal because the texture and the skin and everything, you know, it's like human skin, like, but it's rubber, you know. So it's not like the robots that like we see now, like the RTD2 or C3PO and all that shit. This is a whole nother level where you can't even tell that motherfucker's a robot. Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's what I'm saying. They hyping everybody up nowadays for all these war, and war and war and war, but it's not gonna be conventional war like we know it. It's war. You got drones, you got humanoid robots, you got all types of other surveillance tactics that they have. So I think it's gonna be less human casualties unless it's on like a grand scale, like you gonna blow up a whole city or something crazy and shit. But that shit still might be done from a drone and shit.
Oh
Cause
yeah. Well, they have. Well, you know what I said. I said before. They have the capability with these drones to do a lot, man. I mean, you think about when you have mass people, running, going to
shootings.
places,
Hmm.
and they should have drones to be watching all of that stuff, to be making sure that this. I mean, what is it to have a drone that can play security, that can be security, that can really,
Secure a
uh,
whole premises.
yeah, a whole
You could
property
do
or
a whole
something.
city, really.
And
If you
that one
put that
of them
motherfucker
can
up high enough,
neutralize a threat like that.
like
Just
that.
one of them. You don't have to
Or
send a lot of them.
or even
And
just send information.
yes, they can send the information because
Make it
every camera is pretty much a lot of these cameras they can tap right into it.
into it.
So
Yep.
they send that information to the drone.
Yep.
Drone could come in, neutralize the threat just like that, just quiet. The threat won't even know
Hmm.
it come up behind them. Seeing where he at. Oh, you the threat? Neutralize him.
Hmm.
And make it and
Thing
make
is,
sure that we don't have all of these tragedies happening
yeah.
that could otherwise be prevented by some of the stuff that's taxpayers' money.
Hmm.
They're using this stuff for private or
Cause
whatever they're
he'll,
doing.
cause
I
that
mean,
drone would be like a dispatch for a group of other drones. You know what I'm saying? So he could always stay on his command, watching over the city. Cause multiple shit be going on at one time and shit.
they're
You
probably
know,
gonna do it.
like tragic shit. Like I'm not saying like regular crime shit. You got the police shit, but for like these mass shootings and all this crazy shit, man. When is innocent people getting killed for no freaking reason and shit. You could have some shit like that. And that's what I'm
I
saying. That's how you could use this shit for good. It's because it's pros and cons to everything, man. Everything, every type of energy has two charges, positive and negative, man. In every part of nature, man, every aspect, every artificial intelligence, everything is all boils down to those two energies. You know what I'm saying? Positive and negative, good and bad, God and the devil. You know what I'm saying? It's all different energies, basically. It's symbolism to try and describe different powers of energy, negative and positive and shit. But they don't want you to believe that you have the power and the strength of that within you. They don't want you to believe that you got the power of God within you. They don't believe you got the strength of devil within you, but it's within you. You know what I'm saying? It's whichever path you want to choose. You want to choose a negative path, and you're gonna go down the negative path. You want to choose a positive, you're gonna live a positive path. So it's just that simple and shit. But they want to put a whole bunch of tricks and all this other shit to deceive people and to control them, because you can control somebody when they confused, you know, but if they know the truth, it's harder to confuse them, so it's harder to control them, shit, you know. So, and it's all about control from the oppressor, He always want to be in control and shit.
Well, with we live in the information age.
Hmm.
Time of the truth. It's all here at your fingertips, and
Hmm.
this is where a lot of people are lacking. Is due to their on their own. You know what I'm saying? Nature or their own
They fighting themselves, battling and shit.
their lack of the effort it takes to be able. They're struggling in itself
Hmm.
with with these truths that are out here, and
Seven
because
seals revealed, man. Shit,
it,
you
it,
know,
it's because people sometimes I think rather just
stay ignorant.
yeah not want to do the work or not want to do you know
It's less stress if
yeah
you just if you just be a sheep. You know what I'm saying, and be led and shit. You know what I'm saying. But
basic
basically, yeah, But you're gonna be led astray by the shepherd. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, his ulterior motive is to slaughter you and take your coat. You know what I'm saying? Eat your meat. You know what I'm saying? For his own pleasures and desires and shit. So you can't be just following, blindly the shepherd and shit. You gotta question him, like, yo, why we going down this path? Nah, this don't look like the path. You know what I'm saying?
bring you to the slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Lead your ass right to the slaughterhouse. Take your motherfucking good ass wool off, make money off of that, and then slaughter you and chop your ass up and make millions off of that shit, yo. Shit, that symbolism, man. Shit, crazy.
Why are we going down?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Why are we going down here? Shit. Just like how they did with the crypto. Why are we going down this way? Oh, you telling everybody it ain't no good. It's criminal. It's this, it's that. Now all of a sudden you leading us away from the slaughter. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you leading us to the slaughterhouse by leading us away from the motherfucking the gold or the honey and shit. And now all of a sudden, they see the benefit and they see that they're not even gonna lose making no money. They're not gonna lose. The central bank's not gonna lose no money. They're gonna actually benefit because
It's,
it's gonna bring more inclusion to other areas that was excluded and shit. You know what I'm saying?
and it goes back to the control too, because they're gonna have the control because program
Yeah, the
program
CBDC. Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah,
programmability of all of this.
yeah.
And this is why it was said that even before you know, that when it was unmasked, the whole secret society unmasking of the seventh seal.
Hmm.
It's it was it was definitely orchestrated. It was definitely the plan. It was come on, you know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah.
you have programmability,
Hmm.
then at the end of the day, after you've already, you know, hooked.
Oppressed.
After
Yeah.
you hooked us, hooked everyone, put them on a line in the sinker, hook, line, and sinker. And you've been manipulating the whole time, debate or the whole, the currency wars, the
Uh-huh.
tears, the everything. You're doing all this, but now you got everybody hook, line, and sinker. You have programmability. You know that you can control all of this. You're gonna unleash this at a time when people are really, really at their beck and need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With climates or situations that you're gonna create. You're gonna create it in the food. They're creating it in, what I'm saying, with the weather. They're creating it in the economy, and they're
Hmm.
also creating it in all other sorts of areas of, medicine or whatever. You can just imagine.
Everything.
Um,
Transport, everything.
so we're
Biotech.
we're stuck at our beck and one take a knee and take
Hmm.
the. That's why I said going into the airport. I said if this is optional, why did I even have to go over here and look in this thing? I gave you my ID.
Yeah,
I didn't want to cause a fun because I got a TSA. I
yeah,
got all this other clearance and all this other stuff. A TWIC. I
yeah.
got a passport. I got
Hmm.
all this stuff. I don't want to have them say, "Oh, we're gonna put you on a no-fly list now."
Yeah,
You know what I'm
try
saying?
and revoke your shit.
Yeah, like you just want to cause some kind of. Are you?
Are
Are
you an
you?
activist?
Yeah. Are you part of a cell or something?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, bro, I just know
You
my
causing a
rights.
distraction for something else going on somewhere.
Yeah, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I just know my rights, and then you got it posted right there. So I asked a question because I'm out of curiosity. I want to know. I'm a
Hmm.
YouTuber. I bring content to everybody. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much, just a guy that doesn't want to not know rather than, you know what I'm saying? I'm
No,
trying to
yeah.
find out for some other motive reason.
Secondhand. Hmm.
Right. I want to know that I know because I'm like asking questions rather than I'm
Hmm.
not knowing something. Because y'all doing things, other countries are doing things, they're all taking facial recognition, they're all doing stuff. So I asked them the question out of curiosity. I'd rather know than be slapped with it where I'm like everybody else, down on my knee, having to take something I don't know what the hell it is. It's like, why are we all down here?
Hmm.
Why?
Hmm.
What is going to freak on? It's just about bringing information to people, and that's what this channel does. I don't, I don't,
Yeah.
I
I
don't know
mean,
everything,
you
man.
don't know what they do with that
I
info,
don't know
but I
everything.
know they feeding it to something, something, someone, some. Like I say, I'm thinking machine learning. Because they want the AIs to know as much about the humans as possible. So they just feeding from the data centers is basically that's basically the need of the data centers to store all the information that's feeding to the AI.
That
And
is
then
learning.
when when the quantum computing kicks in, it's gonna need 1,000 times more energy and storage capacity,
Nah.
from to be able to handle, so that's why a lot of nuclear energy is being used. I guess because it's more efficient or it's more. I don't know how friendly it is for the environment or whatever, but I don't know exactly. I guess nuclear is safe as long as it's not combusting, and I guess they're using it for like storage of energy, so there's no combustion, or whatever, whatever the nuclear
Doesn't release
does.
no gas.
No gas or no radiant exposure or whatever,
Oh, you're saying
the
the nuclear joint?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't know how they're converting it to be able to save energy or store more energy opposed to the electrical grids that we're using now. But
Hmm.
that's the next phase that they're trying to push, nuclear energies for the data centers and shit like that. That's
So
why,
they're
man, trying
power.
to get us a fucking data center, man. Telling you, man.
You can so a
Build
data
us
center is basically what a data center pretty much
a
is a
bunch of
place where
servers.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have all the servers and you have all the information um, running through
Being
there constantly.
yeah, constantly solving problems. It's got its problem solving aspect. It's got a cloud computing storage aspect, and then just a variety of different ways it could store energy, use energy, compute energy. And the main thing is being able to keep all of that stuff cool so it
Yeah,
can run efficiently. So it's something with the nuclear stuff that's like liquid cooling. to cool the servers and cool everything is some type of liquid. I don't know if it's physically liquid. I don't know. You
So
know
you
how they
know
be.
what they're probably. I think that probably is that liquid ice. I would think it's
Yeah.
probably because if that's what that would be considered in that class.
Hmm.
Okay, that because when you have a hazmat and like these different
Mm.
chemicals and stuff like
Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
whatever
Yep.
you're
That's
you're
right in your alley.
yeah, you're
Hazardous
gonna they're
materials. Yeah.
like a nitrous. They're using
Yeah.
something of that degree of a chemical pollutant, not being necessarily a pollutant, but it can pose, what I'm saying,
Some type of
dangers if not
contamination.
properly,
Yeah.
dangers
Hmm.
if not properly stored,
Stored or
transported,
handled.
or
Yeah.
handled.
Correctly. Yep.
Exactly. Because
Hmm.
you may have to use it with gloves because it's a chemical and it can be
Yeah.
not, I don't know if a
Absorbent.
combustion or it's
Yeah.
whatever it is, but it falls
Hmm.
in that category right there.
Yeah.
That's what they're using to keep those things cool because it will keep the room temperature
Sure.
at a certain
Like yeah.
regardless of how hot those things get.
Or running. Yeah.
That's the way to do that. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, 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 yeah. And then you
It's
can
it,
then you can do it.
it's an
You can do it.
investment.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
it's
good investment. Then you
it's
can do it.
it's
You can do
basically
it.
just like a because another big money maker is like the storage units. Where people can store their stuff. So it's basically like a big open area of storage units, but you fit in servers, 1,000, 10,000, however many servers. Basically the capacity. We could be building them shits ourselves. We fucking builders. We got the land. Like I'm saying, we could be eating every aspect of that shit. Buy the land, build the shits, and then we get the equipment to provide, for the service of the data center. You
Okay.
know,
Well, I'm gonna
I
ask you
looked it
right
up.
now. I'm gonna
I
ask
looked it
you.
up.
Hold
It's
up.
a
I'm gonna ask
two.
you to
Go
hold
ahead.
that thought right there for 1 second. I don't want this conversation to get cut short, so I'm gonna go grab this charger to make sure that this does
Okay.
not get cut short. Give me 1 second.
Mm.
Um, all right, all right, all right. Okay, yeah, that's definitely how you could do that, man. Just
Telling you,
having
we
having
could
that
collective man. We could collectively, man. All we
that
gotta do is start searching for property. We don't have to really necessarily start building on it for another few years, but while we generating and making other money. And then we can get loans and things against that because they looking for those. Probably could get government contract for building them shits. At least one, you know. They don't even have to be known that it's gonna be a data center. It's just we bought the land and we building a storage, unit, and we got enough property. We build one storage, and then behind that we got a data center. Man. And both structures going up at the same time.
data centers. Now you
Because
gotta make sure, like, if you're doing a data center, I know this for a fact. They now, I guess the energy that you're pulling is gonna have to be by your own means, not Well, it depends. I guess
basically
it's your property. It's your own.
have your own grid.
Yeah, your own power units and stuff that
Hmm.
will measure your consumption
Hmm.
because you'll be consuming a lot. So you're gonna have to pay that bill.
Yeah.
Now,
It says
I
I punched that shit up in my AI and shit. They told me initial investment, land, software, servers, everything, anywhere from 200,000 to $2 million.
okay, yeah, around there to get a nice something going.
Start going, yeah. But
Uh,
5, 10 year return is 10, 20 million.
wow, wow, that's so. A
That's
lot of people, so a lot of people that are kind of into it because I, a lot of people that are into it. That's what they're probably looking, and you might seeing something like that begin to be a more. I wouldn't. These places are usually not in plain sight, but
yeah, exactly.
it'll be a more of a investors choice. You know, first
Hmm.
or you know their first one of their first topics of how they made their millions or where they would put a few million. You know,
Hmm.
if they were looking to
Invest. Yeah.
invest some money,
Hmm.
and it's growing so much now, so that
It's
if you did
attractive.
yeah if you did say hey I'm gonna jump on it. I thought about it from few years ago because
Hmm.
there was another content creator that I was follow. He was
Hmm.
pretty heavy into the mining
Mm.
before data centers, but the
Kind of.
mining.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a
Well,
lot of the miners are
a lot of them. Go
what
ahead.
a
A lot.
lot of the what a lot of the miners are doing now is well they're holding on to assets as opposed to selling
Hmm. A lot of
because
the
they
miners too that was mining Bitcoin is now stop mining Bitcoin and doing data centers.
okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
hear that. I hear that.
Hmm.
And because for them to mine Bitcoin anymore, it's like, okay, if I'm
The
gonna do it,
the
what is
the
the point?
halvings and they're getting less rewards each halving and
Well,
you know
who's buying at these prices too?
yeah.
You know, they're still gonna be getting, you know, the sell if you know they say there's always somebody that's gonna buy it, right?
I mean, because Bitcoin is still used for computations, proof of work, but it's just more mining is where the actual computations and everything is being done for the Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Or as far as Ethereum and other altcoins is proof of stake. So it's done through staking. Generating and making outside extra money besides just buying and selling of the tokens and shit. But that shit is it's the next shit, man. We got to be involved in that shit somehow, man, some way, man. Other than like you said, you was mining shit. That shit is dope, man. That's being in on a whole nother level. Other than like I said, just buying and selling the crypto, and you at the same time earning rewards in crypto. So that shit is crazy, man. You on industrial level and a retail level.
Yeah,
You,
retail.
you know what I'm saying?
Well, retail would yes, they're gonna buy it, you know, but it's got to be mine. But even still, and now you're thinking about that. I mean, there's so much to it, but if you're gonna think about security and think about, you know,
Yeah.
you have to think about those,
Hmm.
the,
Security as far as hacks and breaches, and not even so much physical security, but cyber security and shit.
yeah,
Like,
the
hmm.
having ownership of stuff that is digital.
Hmm.
It it's so it's very easy for it to all just be gone
Yeah, get
because
hacked and
and
manipulated.
regardless to what amount it is it can
Hmm.
all be gone,
Yeah.
right? Well, that is what makes it so, you know, peculiar in itself, like this is all that can do the positive stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
equal and
telling
opposite negative. Yeah.
yeah, you we talk about that, man. The way it can just be gone in a blink of an eye
Hmm.
because of the smallest little key word, phrase, or letter.
Or
Because you can,
misspelled, misplaced. Yeah.
yeah, you can put it. You
Hmm.
can put it in the wrong place. You can misspell it and all that. That's so sensitive.
Hmm.
It has too. It has more people say it has too much risk, but think about the upside. So it's at the highest risk that you probably are going to ever endure or entertain,
Hmm.
and I don't see anything that's going to be able to replace it. You know, it's here to stay. You
Gotta
know,
adapt. I
yeah,
mean, that's what like the Web3 security and all of that. You know, what I'm saying is supposed to be able to not stop it, but I guess combat it. You know, the hacks and stuff like that a little more thorough. But that's to be determined. Because that Web3 shit is all it's all pretty new and shit.
yeah. That's like
You know.
it's like that. Yeah, there is no Web 3. You know, it's
Mm.
just something that we went from Web 2 to Web 3 now. So what we're trying to figure out because
Web3,
that's the
yeah.
phase. That's the phase that's tied up in.
Hmm.
And then quantum stuff is said to be growing so fast that it can,
It's
you
gonna
know what I'm
bypass
saying,
Web3, yeah.
sweep that under the daggone rug,
Hmm.
and just, or go back and clean it up real nice. It was never
Hmm.
even there. So.
Yeah.
But you don't want to get caught up in nothing like that. But
Nah.
you still want to learn
Still want to know. Yeah,
yeah,
facts. Still
learn
want to know.
yeah, learn from whatever mistakes that it's going to present because it's going to be definitely exposed, whereas
Hmm.
it's going to not work or function. And then, you know, there's that. There's that.
Hmm.
So XRP is definitely what we, got our eyes on right now.
Yeah.
The price of that, the comeback on that, that's for me there. There's some airdrops that are supposed to be incorporated with holding XRP.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Yes.
heard. I heard. So to get the airdrops, what you gotta how you qualify?
Well, that's the research there that everybody needs to be doing. I mean, I gotta get up here and try to see if I can find it up here. I know it's out there. It's just not
You go
something
to
right. Yeah,
Ripple.
because I know the flare. I know sometimes like they take screenshot or snapshots.
Mm.
I don't know if you have to be on an exchange or if they do it if you're in a
Mm.
wallet and what wallets would support it.
Support it. Okay.
Um, that snapshot thing for me, I'm telling you, man, I have just bad experience of
Mm.
not of any airdrops, but I've had bad experiences from you know moving crypto onto any exchange to qualify because the exchange is going to be said to uh, be
Verified
participating
or
or
yes. Hmm.
participating in the screenshot
Mm.
and going to use their their I don't know their records or whatever the case is. I don't know how easy they can. I so me when for as a screenshot. I mean, I'm sorry. As far as the airdrop is concerned, the airdrop needs to come directly into my wallet for me to
Hmm.
participate into it.
Yeah, because to
Right,
me, like they fishing. I'll be skeptical about
sending
just
it to the site so
sending
you
such
can
as yeah, so you can
qualify.
buy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what have fallen in. I fell into. That's an old trick. I
Mm.
don't, I know airdrops are definitely good, man. I've gotten
Yeah.
several, and they put some money in my pocket.
Pocket.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
these are good. Good position because they were early on because I was kind of interacting with the exchange or with the pro. You know what I'm saying with the protocol.
Hmm.
or the app or the
Yeah,
DApp.
the
You do
platform. Yeah. Hmm.
you do stuff like that to qualify for some airdrops because they want to see what the functionality
Well,
is like. How many users are actually engaging on this site to where they can scale
so
you know the
I think
performance.
too what it is that they always want you to get their wallet. I think if you get like their wallet, like for their token, for their,
For the native
then
token.
for the native token, yeah, I
Right.
think you get the airdrops easier. But I got mad coins. I don't want to have 30 fucking different wallets and shit, for each coin, but because I'm thinking that's the easiest way to get the airdrop.
Um, Sometimes that's what these guys, in the past, that's what they used to do. They used to have so many phones with so many different wallets on
Wallets, yeah, yeah.
them. And then the
Then you got to
thing
have
about it,
recovery phrase for every wallet. Keep track of
I
that
mean,
shit.
the thing about it is now you're able to
Oh, come on.
integrate. You're able to
Oh,
integrate some of these wallets into
oh, we got
one.
stars, right? Oh, my bad.
You can integrate the wallets into one wallet.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, you can just connect wallets,
Mm. And just
onto.
have it on one cold wallet
Yeah,
or
because
a couple different cold wallets.
some well you can use, I mean, as many as you choose to be, because you're in the integration of these different assets is
Hmm.
ultimately the direction that the space, the whole space has to go to. And this is where, okay, you want to have a real use case for XRPL.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Or RL, or
Or
the,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
the XRP
well,
ledger. Hmm.
yeah, the tether is acts as though it can be a trading pair for a lot of different currencies, but it can't.
Yeah, yeah.
It can't. You
Because
know, because
USDT, right?
yes, because
Mhm.
mainly that's on the Binance exchange.
Yeah,
And any other exchange that uses it is because Tether's
and
pretty much has a monopoly
yeah,
with
because
Bitcoin.
FTX was heavy with Tether.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and you have you Tether UST, USD. So they were smart to get into being that intermediary
Mm.
kind of early.
Hmm.
And I don't doubt that they were watching Ripple, and that they were watching, to see
Hmm.
what I don't, the
Trying to
stable
whistle
coin.
blow and shit.
Yeah, the whole, who knows if they were working somewhere with some other developer who's giving them information
Mm.
during the time. I don't know, but I know one thing: they have really, really cemented themselves in the price action. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
for
They touching mad hands.
yeah, for
Mm.
real, or for real time settlements. And they were like, "Are they solvent? Are they not?" So, and it's a lot of money to try to determine whether or not
Mm.
they can or can't, you know,
Well,
cast.
it's trying to teeter and balance with USDC. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
so
saying?
I mean, we're gonna see what happens with this Clarity
So,
Act.
so yeah, so
If
it's basically like I see like Tether as like the euro and USDC like the dollar and shit. You know what I'm saying? Sort of,
Okay,
sort of
but
like that type of concept.
that's a good analogy, because a lot of, if they're on Binance, if the Tether
It's Europe.
was on Binance, the United States ain't allowed to use Binance. They don't want you to use Binance.
Binance, nah,
You know,
nah. They still
so
beefing with Sun Z and shit.
So to open the foreign markets, to open up to foreign markets, foreign
You gotta
markets are
use
open.
USDT.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and they're open to the U.S. dollars.
Hmm.
What a trade off! It's only getting started, bro.
Yeah, this is the beginning, man. That's what
That's why I
say.
got this green shirt. I'm wearing this because New Year's is green. So we're
That's
starting
it,
off
baby.
green, man.
Starting off green, baby.
The markets are starting off coming back. It's going to be green. If it does do some kind of little pullback or whatever the
It's
case
just
is,
normal. That's
yeah,
natural.
that's normal. Take advantage of that because it just had a nice little pullback,
Yeah,
and now
I
we,
got a
we
little piece of that at 177. I got a little piece of that motherfucker.
yeah, man, you could
Mm.
take some profit right now if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You in the profit.
It's
You
like
want to take a
20,
little
23
something.
cents or something. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
man. And if it's going to keep going up. It just
Hmm.
if it start to retrace, you're still in the profit. You
Yeah, that's what
decide
I'm
when
saying.
you want to say, hey, let me just hold it, take my daggone profit, and then let it drop. I ain't trying to hold on to it, or let it hold it, or let it hold
Yeah,
this.
let it ride.
Yeah,
Take
hold this.
playing with the
And
house's money after that. So
yeah, exactly.
you
That's
know,
what you want to do. That's what you want to do. You want to be right
mhm.
there. Uh, you
Right.
still up. You still up. So man, listen. I
Shit,
like the way
even
the
at
year.
$2, shit. Remember we grabbed some at what 220, I think. Last time we had grabbed some and shit.
Yeah, it was right around then.
Around there. Yeah.
220.
So
But
even two
still,
dollars is not even bad. Like right now, it's not
it's
even
still
bad.
good. Yeah, it's
I might
still
still
good.
grab a quick little honey right now. 'Cause, you know,
Yes, yes. It's just
you know
not.
what I'm
It's
saying.
just not the. It's just not the
It's not the
real honey
low.
hole. You just
Yeah.
that baby will right. That's with some meat on that bone. I'm telling you, brother.
Yeah.
Telling
No
you that
doubt.
meat. Yeah, it's a throw me a bone, throw me a nice one. I just
No.
tear it all up.
I'm I'm gonna go back and do some charting and shit and see what was the last lowest spike besides because that's when I got in at that 177. I put my limit order back at that lowest spike, and then it spiked down there one quick time again, got me in, and then went up and ain't been back down there since.
Oh
It
wow.
been it was consolidating right at like 182, 183, 181, but it never
Mm,
would go below that. But that one little quick sing, I'm like, oh shit! I just I said, let me see if they gonna fill that shit down at 177. I said, let me see if it's gonna spike back down there again. Shit. Sure enough,
it did.
it the first time it spiked, it was 1.77.04. That's how low it had came. I put this order in at 1.7710. So like five hundreds of thousands of a tick
Yeah.
higher, and it kicked me in. If I would have put it at 0.004 when where it all the way went to, it wouldn't have triggered my it wouldn't have executed my order and shit.
Mm.
That shit was crazy. I was like, yo, just that extra little 0.0005, yo.
Yeah,
That shit
that
made a difference.
using that math, that little scale to scale it back some.
Just boom, that shit triggered me
Mm.
right in and shit, you know. And that shit's crazy and shit.
Yeah, it's always good to catch those dips like that. I mean
Yeah,
that's the you catching the honey hole, man.
yeah.
You down in the honey hole, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where all the honey is at. You grab that thing, man, and scoop it
Yeah.
up because you might be trying to get your hand down there and reach for it.
Yep.
You know, you gotta dig a little deeper
Just a
once you get it.
little. Get on your tiptoes to get in that motherfucker at the bottom and shit.
Yeah, man.
Because that's what the institutions do, man.
Yeah,
They fucking
they look to
wait
find that's
that
the
support,
sweet spot. The
that
sweet
support
spot.
at the bottom, where that
Yes.
shit been wicking, but not really taking off, and then eventually that motherfucker just take off from that same spot, man. And that's
Yeah.
when they put their whole load in, you know. They have their order down there waiting, you know. So when that motherfucker do come, they in. You know, there ain't no like second guessing, waiting for the price to get close. Nah, they find that area, they set their fucking limit, and they put their order in. And shit. Wait for that motherfucker to come to it.
And that's the is that the fair value gap, or
Yeah,
that's
that will
usually
where
fair.
that one hit. That was a support and resistance.
Okay, you hit on the support line and the
Support, yeah.
resistance line. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the other thing I was saying. Yeah, because now it turned that from a resistance to a support level,
Support. Yep.
and so it just came back down to it and jumped, bounced right off of it, and went fly
Sprung.
right back up. So
Yep.
you know that's a support line.
Support. Yep.
Yeah, those are areas to always look for because it will always want to come back to that at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and you can
Just to check it.
yeah, and you can capitalize right on it, and that's the thing, you want to capitalize on.
Yeah.
You see
Want to catch it.
you see them and recognize them. Go see and try to pinpoint where those numbers are, and like you did, scale back just a tad bit, a little bit
A little
to
bit higher. Yeah. Yep.
yeah, just to be able to not be out of the money, but you still in the
The
money.
money. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where you
Exactly.
want. That's where you want to tap that thing right there. That's a sweet spot. It's the honey
Mm-hmm.
spot, and everybody's looking at it like, yeah, this is it here, and it'll
Like,
wick down. It'll
oh,
get some people,
yeah.
but then some people it don't fill the
No.
orders.
Because that's all they really doing. They fucking stop hunting and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Looking for the
saying?
numbers.
When them hunt, when it wick down like that, they trying to take out all them buyers that was motherfucking that was in them longs and shit. They come
Yeah,
all the way down to take them motherfuckers out. See if they're gonna weather the storm because they know it's gonna bounce back up, but they don't know exactly where that support because it done broke mad supports on his way down. Mad. But
yeah.
that's what it's all about, man. You try to fucking get behind. It's patience. If you could just wait, put that order in, let it come, or
Well, long term is gonna always win in the end if you go in the long term with it.
hmm
Because with ups and downs, you're sure to be going up over the long term.
yeah, like I said, it might go up. If it go up 7%, then come down 2%, you still up 5%.
Got five.
Now from that coming down two, it might shoot up another fucking 10%. So now that's a 15% up. So now even if it do come down seven, you still up 8%.
Right.
And basically that's what it do. And then after that, it might just jump 20, 30% or something crazy.
Well, that's what I'm
Now,
saying. Once these things get into price discovery, once you get into price discovery, that's when you gotta, you gotta be like, okay, expect some of the unexpected because people did not expect for the price of Bitcoin to go as high as it did.
it wasn't
And
ready
so,
for it to go that high that just
yeah,
yet
I mean, as it started to really just like take off,
because that shit
it,
shot past 70 and then that shit just went straight to fucking 120.
there was pretty much not a lot of it wasn't a hype. It was like price discovery. It had so much room
hmm
to really flex
Yeah.
because it had no resistance levels.
And it was just consolidating for so long. The
It was
longer
like a
that
tight squeeze. Yeah,
the longer that it consolidate and
yeah,
consolidate and consolidate and consolidate, the bounce either up or down is gonna be fucking tremendous. And that shit was Bitcoin. That shit was consolidating for like almost a whole year.
yeah. It wasn't really moving. It was
It
like,
wasn't
what
really
is this thing
moving.
gonna do?
And then at that time 69 was the all-time high and shit. So that shit came up to 69, and then it came back down to 40, and then it
40.
was like 40, 42,
Yeah,
45, 45, for a whole year. And then that shit came to 60, 70, and so to 120, nigga. Yo, And then that shit was dancing around 120, hit 126. And then it just started consolidating for a while around 126, 123. And then that shit just start breaking down and shit, like stair stepping though. You know what I'm saying? Not just, and then it might give you one gradual hard drop, and then it'll start consolidating again, and it'll drop again. And like,
You're
yo.
like this every day.
And then as soon as you see a little green, like, oh, 2% up, and then that shit drops. Like, yo, that's a rodeo ride, man. You trying to ride the bull, man. You know?
I was doing that shit, man. I was riding that shit. I was trucking, doing all that running around, wilding out, bugging out. I was bugged out for a minute, man. I was bugged out for a minute, man. I was going everywhere, bro. I didn't care. I was going everywhere. I went all damn near the car. I went to, I'm cooking New Mexico, man. In that truck, man.
Word.
Yeah, I don't have me wilding out. I was like, I didn't care. I was like, man, this is cool. It was cool.
And it's
All
crazy
of
you could
that.
spend that shit everywhere, all over the fucking place, yo. That shit wow, yo.
You're endless,
And
endless
you ain't
spending.
gotta transfer no, like, you go to other countries, you gotta transfer the American dollars, to their currency and shit. But with the fucking Bitcoin, whatever that shit is right there, that shit it is right there, yo. That shit is dope. You ain't losing no exchange. You know what I'm
You're not.
saying?
You're not.
That's why
Crazy.
that's what make that shit so dope, man.
Shit's crazy.
Taking out the intermediaries, man.
But the thing about it is, I would say too, like when it's I could only describe something like this like being a some kind of a power source
Hmm.
that you know when it glows or starts to glow, it's like either charging or it's got a nice glow
Brilliance,
to
yeah.
it, yeah.
Hmm.
And you're like, yo, just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Let it do what it do. Then it start turning out getting brighter, different colors over there. Then that's how I describe it and look at it. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what the heck
You don't know
that
what
is.
the optimum color is, but you know that it's glowing. As it grows, the color changes, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It has a lot of power too.
Power
So
to it.
that
Yeah.
power, and then if say you're holding on to that, hold on to it because
It's
it will
building.
be, yeah, it'll be able, it'll at some point it'll be low charge. Well, I don't know why it does that, but that can be just the makeup of how it functions, and I don't know
Hmm.
what the, because I remember my boy said I never invested in it. I don't know what it is, and I told him, I said, I don't know what it is either. I said, don't wait for me to tell you what it is
Yeah.
because I don't even know. I could sit over here and lie to you and tell you, oh, it's this or oh, it's that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? For
Yeah.
you to get you to invest in it. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And then you still don't invest in it. Like, oh, all right, whatever. You know what I'm
You ain't.
saying?
It got to be up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you. So,
Do your
don't
own
wait for me.
research. Yeah.
Don't wait for me to say to you, oh, well, what is it? So he's like, that's why he didn't invest because he's like, well, I don't know what it is. I'm like, well, shit,
Hmm.
I don't know what it is either. But and if you're a hustler
You
or
just
you
got to be
somebody
willing to
that's
take a risk.
yeah, you into trying to get this money, hustler remember, oh word, oh okay, so and them get money over there, word what they doing it. Then they
Yep.
oh word they over there getting the dime. Okay, that's
Yeah.
what they doing. All right. Oh, I see what you doing. Oh, now you into this now. Oh, okay.
It's the new streets, man.
It's all that. That's all that is. And if you a hustler by nature, when there's something come to you like that, and you
Yeah.
like it's
You'll
real
see the
money, word, that's
opportunity.
some bread. I could get bread with that. Man, let me dip my hand in there and try to get some of that money because I don't want to
Basic.
not. I don't want to miss out and not be the nigga on the block that ain't, saying money off of that when
Yo,
everybody getting on it or something like. I couldn't do
basically,
that.
a hustler is just a person who take advantage of an opportunity when an opportunity is presented.
Yes, it's a
That's
risk you
all.
have to
That's the
take.
all. a hustler is. Being able to being not being afraid to take a risk on an opportunity to make money. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not
Like
trying to be the one that didn't take the risk.
take
I
the
know when
risk,
they came
yeah,
through and said,
and
yo,
lost
these
and
cats is
losing
over
out.
here doing this. I'm like, oh, word, yeah, that's what they doing. Oh, yeah, yeah. Peace, good
Exactly.
looking on that. That's what I need to know. That's all I need to hear. So now
Scared
I'm
money
trying to
don't make
figure
no
out,
money,
like,
man.
there you go. Like, hey, well, hey, y'all doing this, we could do it too. Or, I mean, thanks for the tip. I mean, I appreciate it, man. I'm a blow up and just like,
Yeah.
like you
Figure
thought I could.
what's more of a risk than in the streets?
It was more risk
And what's the
than
asset
it
that
was
and
more
what's the
risk.
asset that's as risk is your ass, motherfucker. That's it,
That's what
motherfucker.
you want to risk your asset, your
That's,
most precious asset.
that's it.
You want to risk your ass out here? Go ahead, do it.
Facts.
And
Yo,
people were risking. They were risking
yo. But
everything.
in learning and understanding the opportunity, you might not understand the opportunity at first. You might just see the opportunity like, damn, this motherfucker been over here chilling, doing whatever for all these days, but he been coming home with a bag, yo. Let me see what he into. Then he break down, listen, I'm doing this, this, and that. What's good? Oh, you turning me on to your opportunity, your hustle?
That's a
That's
blessing.
it. That's a
That's a
blessing.
blessing.
That's
He
all it
shared.
is. That's all it
He's
is.
sharing the information. You go get you. You blessed now. You got it.
Sharing your
Run
talents,
with it.
yo.
And look,
Word.
if he could do it, I could do it. And then you know how it is, man. You know what? Each
Yeah.
one teach one. So at the same time, there's no, there's never no, no gatekeeping. There's never
Nah.
no, hiding or withholding knowledge of some of the tools that we use
Yeah. Yeah,
because
to grow.
it's
Yeah.
it's 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 not all for me to be doing alone.
By
It's
yourself.
it's
No.
it's it's a it's going to be a collective. Um,
There's
you
no
know,
joy. There's no
yeah,
joy in the loan.
yeah, if you're the only person that can do something, it gets quite boring doing it yourself.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Yeah.
And when you do have other people that do either something somewhat close to what you do,
Hmm.
that is always good because now you're learning from each other and you're growing each other's skills.
Steel sharpening
And
steel.
yes, and then now knowing it to team up on some stuff to not to put two heads together, and that's twice the knowledge.
Hmm.
You're accomplishing more because that's what a data center is. It's people, it's computers thinking all
Together.
collectively
Yep.
together to
Hmm.
come up with a better, a quicker,
Solution or whatever.
faster
Yeah.
solution,
Hmm.
and the most efficient way of getting things done. And that's really just a
That's
mimic of,
AI.
yeah, but it's a replica. They're mimicking, a strong community.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if we build a strong enough community, we are,
That's
the competition to the AI.
that's basically what a computer is, a collective brain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
But
a
we're
whole
the
bunch of different
competition to
whole
that.
bunch of different brains, CPUs, which is the same thing, essence of a brain of a human, collectively on a board, coming together to try and um solve problems or whatever, say it be math, word, whatever, That's basically its function.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of human brains on a circuit, what I'm saying, trying to fucking solve problems and shit at
It's
the
a
rate of speed of light. Shit.
trying to steer the ship of life out on the ocean, right?
Hmm.
That's what it is. We're just trying to navigate these waters.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
always
And
go back to the water, the
it
currents.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to
It's all
navigate.
nautical talk, man.
It is. That's it. That's why I'm saying, man. Man. Um, I mean, they another reason I'm really glad I'm bullish on. I'm saying this New Year is over $2. That says a lot. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it could pull back, but I mean the direction that we're heading in, it's
Hmm.
over $2 now. It was a consolidation. There was a big pullback to
Hmm.
reclaim $2 and use that as support and keep pushing because it was almost $3.04, trying to get a nickel in there. I says,
Hmm.
okay, this is what's up. Now, for everyone that's holding, this is gonna probably be a fast moving recovery to all time high for everyone that's recovering. I mean, everyone that's holding. I think it's going to be a fast move to all time high. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be bullish in a sense where it's going to start taking off.
Hmm.
Once they pass these acts, they're going to start printing money. There's things that's going to correlate
They
to.
already January 1st, they printed up 1 billion XRPs.
Oh, no, that's why it's going because they're running out. The supply's running out.
There and it because the XRPs is reaching so many. It's the infrastructure, so is reaching so many different banks and communities and visas and JP Morgan and Wells Fargo and what I'm saying, Bank of America, all. So it need more liquidity, so it need more XRPs. That's the only way it's going to get more liquid is if you create more of them until the supply is. I don't know how many XRPs is the like circulating supply or whatever shit, but
I think the number is 60 billion
60 billion.
is the total. 60
Total supply.
billion. I
Mm.
think I could be wrong. I think 60 billion is the total supply. So now if they've already if there's- they've depleted, if
I
they're
got
already
I took a screenshot of this stat. It was a few different dates where things is going on as far as in crypto and stocks and everything for this whole month and shit. I'm gonna go back on my threads and find it. I'm gonna send it to you
yeah.
because it was interesting the stuff, how it's gonna be affecting, the ecosystem of crypto and the stock market and all of that shit. And, it was telling me about different
This month, January.
earnings they did for the whole month of January. It was like about every week, like two or three different things for this whole month. It's the Fed rate decision, the CPI, all those data events. But it was other stuff with crypto and other things in there too and shit. Mm. So, I'll be trying to stay in tune with all that shit because, all that shit, it might not be, what I'm saying, it might not all be the correlating, but in one way or another, they do correlate because since shit is all Nasdaq and all that shit is still tech. Saying tech is crypto and shit. So all that shit all blending together somehow, one way or another and shit. And it's a macro thing anyway. And shit.
What do you think about meme coins? What meme coins do you think is good?
Right now, the only meme I really got is the Floki, but yeah. I think I got another one. I gotta remember what it is. I gotta look at it. It's
You get
not
a lot of
Pepe.
those.
It's
Get a
not
lot.
Doge. Huh? I can't hear you.
So you can get a lot of them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good. That's good.
Hmm. I've been looking at that Pippin too and shit. It was,
Which
it was.
one? You see the Pippin that went up, man. I mean, I got the wrong one, man.
I know you had told me the PIPPIN, right?
Yeah, they had PIPIN or something, man. I don't know. I,
Oh.
I got the wrong one, but I thought I had it under the radar. I was looking at it. I said, "Oh my goodness!" I thought I just looked at. It. I said, "Oh man, I did make a few dollars, but nothing like what I should have or could have made."
Hmm.
Oh my goodness, man! I was high. I told you about that too, man. I mean, damn, I just missed that. I missed that by making a mistake, bro.
Mm.
Like getting the wrong coin because
Coins.
I
So
didn't.
many.
I bought it through my wallet. my cold
Hmm.
storage wallet. So what I did was I downloaded it in the cold storage wallet. I don't
Hmm.
know why I downloaded the wrong one, or it looked like I did the right one,
Hmm.
but they also had it over on um, Phantom.
Phantom, yeah.
Yeah, so I tried to buy it on Phantom because this is what I was gonna do. This is why I downloaded it to my wallet. But obviously, the one that I downloaded to my wallet was not the right one.
Mm.
What I was gonna do was go on Phantom,
Hmm.
buy it, and then transfer it to the wallet. But I needed to have the wallet address, you know, in the
Yeah.
wallet, so I downloaded it over there. So when I got it, maybe that's why it wouldn't let me transfer it. Oh no, did I even buy the right? No. The one that I bought. So the one that I winded up buying on Phantom obviously was the wrong one. That's probably why.
Hmm.
That's crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know.
Probably
But
rushing.
yeah, I was trying to hurry up and rush to get it because I thought it was going to explode right there. And the dude was talking
In your
about it. It was
face.
moving. It was moving, but nothing like what it did.
Yeah,
I should have
overnight.
just got in where I can get it and just held it and bought it and sat like I did. I bought it and I just was holding it. There was quite a few times when I was even what I had. I was like, man, let me just swap out of this. Man, let me don't even hold on to it. I don't even know what this thing is. This is what BS. This ain't nothing. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember I had told you about it. But so I said I had bought some.
Hmm.
But I kept thinking, go back and swap out of it. It ain't. But it was a lot because it was so cheap.
Cheap, yeah.
Yeah, like you get a lot. Like ooh man, it went all the way to like 50 something cent. I was like, what? I said, please don't work on it. I said, please. I remember I told my boy about it. He probably ain't getting that too. He said, he got it, he rich. I said, he got
Yeah.
that right now. Then I looked, I was like, why they I'm like, what's wrong? These numbers don't look right.
Mm.
It was the wrong good one. And I was like, oh man, I see how much it went up by. And I said, damn, I looked at the date. I said, that junk was like, when I first told my boy about it, it was dirt cheap.
Hmm.
Man, that would have been it, man.
That was a
That
nice
would have
hit.
been it. It just shot up a whole month, man. Bought the wrong one, man.
Mm.
And that's the thing about these things sometimes. They got a lot of upside, especially
Yeah.
if you can catch them,
You got time. If you could time it right,
Well,
time it.
I don't even
No, I
want to
mean,
time
if you
it
could
right.
time it
I just
right
want
and get
just tip.
in,
Look, just tip me off at the right time.
yeah.
I don't want to sit around too much longer trying to time these markets because you'll never be able to
No,
do it.
no, just
It's when you
put your order
hear
in and let that motherfucker ride.
well, you're
If,
gonna
if
be
you hear if you hear like
which coin.
coin, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you put your order in. Yeah, I want to get mine in early too, but you want to be knowing what coin. And the dude that was talking about this coin, he always be coming up with these coins, bro.
With the moonshot.
I'm telling you, I, I, he's the gem. He go looking finding those gems.
Yeah,
He is the gem hunter.
the gem hunter.
Yes, he goes and finds them. Man,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, yes, he does. He say, hey, he
So he
told the
be on
world,
them. He be on them decks all the time. Then
yeah,
stay on that DeFi exchange shit to find them because that's where most of them shits is at.
yeah, yeah, they're there. And
Do you have Because you can find them shits on like Uniswap and shit too, right?
I guess so. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, Uniswap too. They're just like I said. There's so many. There's so
Because they
many on
want you to
these
connect a
different.
wallet.
Yeah, on the different network. And that's the thing. Like, if you're big on these networks, like like if you're big on Solana, if you're big on Uniswap, or you know, some people they use those things,
Hmm.
and that's where they find all of that stuff. Sometimes you got some people that have bad experiences.
Yeah.
I've had that. I'm like, I
Hmm.
ain't never going back on that thing. I had so many bad experiences. It's like I survived all of that, and I'm still in crypto. Like,
Hmm.
still is heavy. Like, I do have a good amount of that in terms of CIN, in terms of old crypto. But I've been through so much, and a lot of people will go to different network protocols, like on different exchanges, like if you use Binance or BNB tokens and stuff like that, and that's like Base or the Coinbase thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And all of the different stuff, they have different programs. They release different coins all the time on those
Time.
programs.
Yeah.
You follow these developers, and you go on Twitter. You can qualify for so many of the airdrops. You just gotta
Airdrops. Yeah.
click on within
Yeah.
their
That's a matter of
ecosystem.
fact. That's what I was seeing on Twitter all the time.
Yeah, you
The
can
airdrop,
follow what's going on
chain
within.
link.
Yeah,
Uh,
once you follow in their ecosystem, you get all kinds of information of what's up,
hmm
right? And then you just take some risk with it. I like
I'll
to
be
get.
just trying to make sure that there's verified.
You
You know
gotta,
what I'm
you
saying?
gotta, you. I mean, you gotta take that risk. But I like I said, I like to get tipped off by the people, like I said, my man, because he does more of that.
Yeah.
I start going down that rabbit hole, and I start doing that again. I will be opening myself up to maybe, who knows, God knows what. And I don't like to put too much on my plate as far as this is concerned because I know for a fact how it can get you really emotionally tied up. Or, some of the stuff is kind of tribalism. You
Mm.
say, well, it's not tribalism. But some people say, well, I'm not tribalism because I'm just
Your mic going out. Yeah, I
oh,
can't
my
hear you.
mic. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Can you
No.
hear me now? Oh, okay. I
No.
probably was covering it. But
Hmm.
it's the tribalism and stuff because some people say, "Oh, well, I'm not tribal." It's not a tribalism thing because I follow the protocol. I believe in the protocol, or so I've been you know um, you know informed and researched. I've been doing it for so long that some people won't use different. Some people will use multiple chains, you know what I'm saying? Some people will
Hmm.
only deal with like just like getting on a one exchange and like I only get Robinhood or you know what I mean,
Hmm.
whatever they offer.
Hmm.
But and that's kind of tribal. That's tribal in a sense because you do not get the full exposure to the market, to different chains, to different protocols,
Hmm.
or to you know um,
I mean, that's more being centralized and
yeah,
sticking with one. You know.
there's trading peers that you don't
Hmm.
have accessible to you, native tokens that
Hmm.
you can't earn and stuff.
Yeah,
You're
unless
not
you're going.
qualifying. You're not going to qualify for these things.
Hmm.
So busy you're going to be, looking to go that route to get max exposure to more high risk. It is what it is.
Yeah, basically.
But there's the upside
Yeah, this is
and knowing the potential of the market and knowing that's what institutions have started to recognize. They're looking at it now saying this it has infinite potential.
potential for
Them
for
and,
for
and, and, and the money that
upside.
if they look at the market cap and say, oh, it's only this much in there. If I come in with my buddies that are investors, we will run this thing up and we can crash it right back down. You
Hmm.
see? So there are
And then run
regulations.
it back up and then crash it back down.
Yeah, there are
Keep doing
regulations that are
it. Yeah.
that prevent that, but there
Mm.
still can get in. These people with this type of money can get into
And make
these
it move.
markets right
Yeah.
now and move these prices. You get price action or price
Yeah.
appreciation. The
Hmm.
big gamble there is everything pretty much follows Bitcoin. So if you come in on a low cap or whatever coin and you want to try to pump it up and stuff, and that's, I mean,
Yeah, it's gonna follow suit of the Bitcoin. Yeah,
yeah,
all the
it's
altcoins. Yeah.
yeah, it's a different. It's all together got a different type of you know
Hmm.
liquidity in that market and stuff. So You just want to be aware of that
You know,
when
Bitcoin
you
like the whale. You know what I'm saying?
when you're looking for these hidden gems that
Mm-hmm.
really have upside potential, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this thing went from from probably 2 cents to it went from like I see it was like 2 cent to like 50 something cent. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, even if and then I went, yeah, I seen it at 2 cent, but I think I bought in. I looked at my order, like it was around 5 cent, or somewhere around 5 to 6, just before it said. Whoosh.
Parabolic, baby.
But I bought the wrong one, so it was around the same time frame, and I was like, oh man, I
Mm.
could not believe it. I said, damn, that would have really been cool. But they come and go. These coins like that.
But did it crash all the way back down to no? Okay, it just made it like a
I
correction.
think I think she did come down a little somewhat, but I have
Mm-hmm.
to look at it again to see because I think it
Mm-hmm.
pulled back and then started running back up. I seen, but it didn't blow up on the charts like it had did then. But even
Mm.
still, it was like,
Like I said,
how'd you hear about that?
I mean, but shit, if it was at 2 cent and it went up 2,500%, fucking 50 cent, that's 2,500%. So now if it's
Yeah,
coming back down fucking 30%, that ain't shit.
yeah, that ain't nothing. That's cooling off. It's just cooling off now.
Yeah.
It went up
Even if it come down
2005.
300%,
You
even if
still
you
winning. You
still
still
up.
winning. You still
Yeah.
winning. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But
Yo, let
it
me
was
get
a
off
early.
this. Take me a
Huh?
shower, man. I'm stinking from work and shit, man.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Hmm.
It was just a early. It was an early thing when I got the word on it. That's when I was like,
Yeah.
I did not know that it was gonna do that
I ain't
either.
gonna miss the next one you give me, nigga. I got my Phantom set up. I'm throw a little bit of Solano over that motherfucker. So
Yeah,
this
man.
year I'm trying to be just that much more crypto savvy, on my cold wallet, little more Dex, a little more Dex savvy, a little more risk, but the regulation is coming. So, you gotta try to be ahead of the curve,
Oh yeah. Definitely stay ahead
you
of the
know?
curve. Stay informed. You know what I'm saying. Stay ready. Have dry powder on the side of the money to be able to inject it into the markets and stuff.
Yeah,
That's where sometimes I think it's cool to just hold some stable coins. You still earn a yield on that. So
exactly. Yeah, I got some
that's
USDC. I got
yeah,
some USDC and stake that, a
yeah,
little percentage of that. Make a little
yeah.
2.5, I think is the yield on there. But
That's
shit, that shit's
growing.
good. Yeah,
Yeah, because
shit
it
growth.
beats paying the fees and all this stuff that's out here, man.
Yeah.
This is beating inflation and on the other hand.
Oof, that's crazy.
And
That's
deflation is
crazy.
about to be all the way up in a
Up.
second. They're gonna
Yeah,
freaking people are going to they're gonna jaws a drop and they're gonna be you gotta be prepared for that.
yeah.
You gotta be prepared, at least have some kind of a
Gotta be diversified, man.
yeah, you
Gotta.
gotta have some other means or avenues that
Mm,
that you can go
mm-hmm.
where when the going gets rough like that. And it's gonna get even rougher. So
Yeah.
we're gonna prepare ourselves. We're
Prepare
going
the family. Get
to
everybody on
educate
board.
y'all.
Yeah, man.
Yes, yeah. That's it. We doing that this year.
That's it. That's our
You
duty,
know.
man.
Yeah.
I'm forcing. I gotta make myself accountable, so I gotta like practice what I preach. I be telling motherfuckers, giving good advice, and sometimes I don't even be adhering to that advice completely. You know what I'm saying? So this
Mhm.
year, I'm more on my build and my destroy. So I gotta build and I gotta destroy some bad habits and some other shit so that I can add on in order to elevate, man. It's just like it's like a pullback. I gotta pull back to buy the dip, what I'm saying, to elevate myself up and shit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get in and shit. But
And that strategy always works. So as long as you implement it, you're gonna be freaking doing your thing. You'll be fine. You'll
mm-hmm.
be fine. That's what I'm saying. So we're gonna go ahead and let the let no let it all unfold in 2026.
Six.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? I mean, we've been holding on and everything and waiting and waiting. It's not. It's if you look at the I look at the monthly I think it was the weekly or the monthly. Look at the monthly. I think it's the monthly.
Candle.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
tells a story right there, man.
Yeah.
This is going um it's going back up. It's a reversal. So it's it's a strong, it's pretty strong. So
Hmm.
there's you know what I'm saying?
Same.
There's
Get
some
that change of
value.
character. We get to
It's
250. We have a change of character, and then from that change of character, it might retest a little bit
right.
of that break of structure, and then it's going to take off from there.
Yes, it's going because
Retest
it's
that.
got there's volume behind it, and I think that's
Hmm.
calling for bigger numbers and stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, with all this news and everything, what I'm saying?
oh,
With
the
XRP
ETFs too.
alone and all the new ETFs, yo, crazy new ETFs.
And
ETFs for almost crazy different altcoins, man. Crazy different altcoins ETFs coming out, yo.
well, that's proof in itself that, like I said, this isn't going anywhere. But at the
Nah,
same time, that's proof in itself. Just
that's
the ETF
institutional exposure. All of those ETFs is to bring exposure to the institutions, man.
institutions, they're here with the
Yeah,
big money now.
with the big money.
So the
That's what I'm
movements,
saying.
so
It's
those
going.
price movements are going to really be, we're just seeing what we're seeing right now is
Telling you,
just a taste of what's to come. And it's
28 to 2030, when 2028 to 2030, yo, that's when that shit is gonna be
gonna be really crazy.
here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
gonna be here.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 10 to 20% adoption, that shit is gonna, but once it hit 10 to 20%, I guarantee you from a year from that 10 to 20% is gonna jump to 40%, yo. And once you get 40% adoption, nigga, that's damn near half the world. We get half the world adopted on crypto. It's gonna be
Mass
like the
adoption,
dollar mass adoption. It's gonna be like the
mass
dollar
adoption.
reincarnated, man. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
these prices that you see now will be so far out
Far
of
gone.
reach from
Word.
people. They will say, "Oh man, if they
You ain't
ever
never.
looked at the prices, they'll be like, I remember when it was only 12 or 20 cent or 30 cent. You mean to tell me it cost this
Yo,
much to get one of those things
the
now?"
same way we talking about Bitcoin. Like, yo,
Exactly.
I remember when Bitcoin 2017 was 1200 or 800 and now it's 90 something thousand and shit, man. Come
Well,
on, that's a
there's people
100,000%.
that were buying that Bitcoin and stuff like that, and it was 15 and 20 cent.
I know. Damn.
Those people, they,
How you could,
that's
nigga, you know
crazy.
how many Bitcoin that is? How you could hold on to that shit till now? You had to sell some of them shits, nigga. That's
And
like
I,
fucking 2,000. Let's just say like 2,000 Bitcoin. If you had 2,000 Bitcoins right now, you have to been sold at least 500 of them shits.
I'm trying to just ask myself a question and think about this. Like this, check it out, right? If going back and then, would the person who would have been on the computer like that? What type of person was he to be able? I mean, to say, oh, I'm gonna buy. Oh, it's so cheap. What am I shopping for? First of all, what would they up there because they were buying it, spending it, gambling. It could have been online gambling, and they were trading in Bitcoin. You could have had people that were Saudi Arabian people that were like 500, 200,000. They bought that much of that stuff back then for
Yeah.
so cheap. I
Mm-hmm.
have 200,000 Bitcoins. How much they put up to grab all of that? Or I probably gamble on that site with about $1,000 or maybe 2,000, and then they turning it over to 5 and 10, 20,000 getting paid in Bitcoin. So they was getting like in today's value, gambling billions. Well, I mean, how much is the overall market cap of Bitcoin? It's a couple trillion.
Trillion, yeah, it's about
So they
two
would gamble
trillion.
billions. It would have been nothing like I just
Mm-hmm.
gamble 4 billion, 5 billion. That type of movement of the money was nothing back then. You know what I'm
Shit,
saying?
there's
To have
400
billion.
billion.
But then you thinking now it's up in the price that it is now. So even back then when they was gambling with billions. So
Yeah,
if they had a billion, maybe back then when the market cap wasn't all the way
so I,
up into the
no, so I
trillions
think
back then.
right now the total crypto market cap I think is 3 trillion or 4 trillion, something like that. I think it's
Yeah,
three
but
trillion because I
Bitcoin
think
is at
two,
least like 2 trillion of the
2 trillion.
market.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's big.
That's big.
I
That's
remember when
that's 70%.
I remember when the thing went to a trillion. I remember when Bitcoin market cap went to $1 trillion. I
Mm-hmm.
remember that shit. I was told I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh shit going is a trillion. I'm like, and that's when I started understanding the market cap of things and stuff like that
Yep.
because
Mm-hmm.
that's what they were talking about.
Cap and the supply and all. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, yo, this is crazy. So I was kind of understanding the supply too, but
Mm-hmm.
it was much, much more bigger, to think about how much that, and then the Satoshis, and I'm like, okay, all these stats. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is
That's
they
the shit
were
that
getting
fucked me
expensive.
up. You know,
That's the shit that got
breaking down the
expensive.
Satoshi.
Yep, them stats got expensive, bro. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, that shit was the stats. I was like, man, to get a whole tenth, to get a tenth of stats. Like, damn. Because when you try and go to a whole Bitcoin, you might have to put like, a couple hundred or whatever, because that, and then every 200 or 300, then, you get like another, it's like getting, instead of half of a slice, or you got two or three, 10, 20, 30, 40, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? To get
Yeah.
percent 50. But it costs for them stats. And you're like, it's not really too much money. It's about $1,000 to give me that many stats. And you'd be that much closer to, because it wasn't over 10 grand.
No.
No, it wasn't. You get
No.
stats, but the stats, man, them stats became expensive as fuck. Very expensive. You're like, damn, that's out of reach, man. Some of this
Mm-hmm.
for for if you're thinking how I think when I bought XRP, like I'm buying 15, 20,000 of these shits.
You're trying to buy.
From
You're getting
from
hold. Yeah.
from like 10% of a, what I'm saying, of a stack.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying to just like, I'm gonna get that stat back, but I'm, buying 20,000 of these. I want that to pop. So that's how I was doing. Cause I always thought by the tens, thousands, or by 10, 100,000. So I always say by the hundreds. If I'm not buying hundreds, I don't buy 10. If I'm not buying
Mm-hmm.
by the hundreds,
Mm-hmm.
not 100, but by the hundreds, because just keep it a
Hundreds.
whole number. If I'm buying
Mm-hmm.
hundreds, or I'm buying thousands, or I'm buying tens of thousands of
Done.
whatever it is I'm buying. If I want
Mm-hmm.
to be big, because then I want to be on the whale list or shark list, the rich
Yeah.
list, to be able to say, well, I hold not just a small amount of these coins, but I got
Mm-hmm.
tens of thousands or figure. If I'm gonna move this market, I'm gonna crash this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why I should look at it, because it was like made no sense to not have a lot of shares of something, because I always thought about
Think
cashing
big.
out. I
Mm-hmm.
always thought about cashing out. At the end, it was always okay. Well, what if it goes to $1? Well, if it goes to $1 and I want to have this much, well, I need to be able to have twice as many of these motherfuckers, because I still want to spend this much and have that much, so then I could be left with this much if
Mm-hmm.
it ever goes to $1. And
Mm.
you're just waiting for that shit to go to $1, man. And some of them
Yeah.
coins ain't never
Yeah. I
went to a
remember
dollar.
that shit was 20. That shit was just because I was fucking with this trading group and the shit was it 40 cent? Because he was like, yo, $5 of these shits will buy you like 100 or some shit like that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, get the fuck out of here and shit. And then when that shit went to 50 cent, I fucked around and bought like spent like $100. So for $100, you got 200 of them shits. Was at 50 cent? I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, that shit just started took off. Then I got more at 75 cent. And then before it broke $1, and then even when it was at $1, I was trying to still get them shits and shit. But it wasn't on the exchanges yet. It was still delisted.
Where?
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't on Coinbase at least yet. It wasn't it was still on. You had to go to a Dex or whatever to get the fucking the XRP in and shit. And then when I had linked up with the fucking exchange, it was bogus. I bought a bunch of XRPs and the fucking shit just disappeared. They fucking gamed me and shit.
Oh damn.
I couldn't get like I the money was there, but they wanted me to spend fucking $1,000 just to take out fucking 800 or some crazy shit. I was like, what? I'm like, oh y'all motherfuckers got me.
Oh yeah, they got you.
I'm like, y'all motherfuckers got me.
I
Yo,
got like that too. So
my shit bubbled up quick, like 3 months. I was up, I had like fucking because they had some bullshit ass um coin that they was pumping up and shit. And you know what I'm saying? That shit was just kept growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. So 500, that shit was up to fucking like 6 grand and shit. And I'm like, whoa. And she was like, you should get more. You should get more. I was like, nah. I'm gonna see if this shit bubble up. So then I went to try to take some money out of that motherfucker. They was like, oh, we need $1,000 for you to. I was like, what? So the girl I'm talking to, I'm like, yo, put the 1,000 up for me. And then she said, you better get the money up if you want it. I was like, man, fuck y'all. Y'all ain't getting no more money out of me, man. Y'all motherfuckers, yo. I was like, you motherfuckers, man. Looking at that shit was up to like 12 grand, nigga. I was like, oh my God, yo.
yeah, they had you.
You
They had you hooked
motherfuckers
on the shit. Yeah,
won't let me get it. But I'm buying. I was buying. Because I was taking profits from that. So what I was doing, I was taking profits from there and buying XRP, Litecoin. You know what I'm saying? It was like 3 or 4 coin and their coin and shit.
Did they keep all of that shit?
They kept all of that shit.
Oh damn.
I had I had initially invested. It was $1,000. You know what I'm saying? And I was split up between the tokens and shit. And that shit grew. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, that shit is 8 grand. I'm like, fuck that. I'm taking my 1,000 back out.
And you couldn't. They wouldn't let you get
They
none.
wouldn't let me get my 1,000 back. I was like, you bastards, yo.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Yo.
that's a hard lesson to have
And
to
I
deal
learned
with and stuff, man.
the
It's
fucking
not gambling, but
scam.
it's they, they were unfortunately those were bad actors, and there are a lot of bad actors in
Yeah.
this space. But there are those there are those honest, upright. I mean, let me just take that kind of back and say this: there are bad actors out there, right? And it's unfortunately that there are bad actors out there that will fraud you. So anybody watching this, be careful in the comments. All right, y'all don't give nobody no money and nothing if you watch this video and they
Mm-hmm.
say, this link here is to go here. Don't do that because you want to be very careful doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the exchanges, if you ask me, a lot of them, they're regulated right now. If there's a lot of regulation that you have to go through to, proof of identity, and that right there pretty
It's
much is going
better.
to solidify that your money is safe because there
Mm-hmm.
is the um, third party, um, uh,
Verification.
you're
Mm-hmm.
verified. They have to be
Mm-hmm.
to get to where that money exchanges those two hands, that third party is in there as an intermediary to make sure that on both ends you're not being frauded and that
Mm-hmm.
you're going to, be you are who you say you are. So nobody's, hiding behind any kind of ulterior motive,
Mm-hmm.
when this is exchange of this money and stuff. So that third party is there to mediate that. No risk, no, none of that stuff going on. You got to be
Yeah.
sure that
That's what.
you if you're using some type of an exchange that you do put the proper information up there so that way if there's ever anything you can get your compensation through probably some means by court
Mm-hmm.
documents or court mandates and stuff. So boom, it's never a bad idea to get to do that. But when you use these cold storage wallets, of course, there's disclosure agreements and there are terms and conditions that you also got to be aware of.
Hmm.
However, if you give anybody any access to those wallets
Yeah,
and you give that what's in that,
that's all
you're exposing that.
null and void. Yeah.
You don't, then now you've breached all of their agreements. They're not liable for anything that you might wind up
Hmm.
losing behind your, sharing the secret or private, access key phrases or,
Yeah, recovery will.
passcodes. So you never
Hmm.
want to do that. But
No.
them cards, man, them cold stores wallets allow you to hold that stuff, man, and change in between a lot of coins. You can swap in between a lot of
Coins. Yeah.
coins.
Coins.
Which
Yeah.
on these exchanges, they tell you, hey, we can do this and do this, and they want you to put money up there to be able to,
To do that.
access your own money and do certain things with your coins that are
Hmm.
already on that exchange. That's a red flag. You don't want to have somebody who's one got your asset and then possessing and holding it, and then otherwise telling you in order for you to do anything with it, you got to give
You
them
gotta give
money
me.
now
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
to even cash out or to
Yeah.
transfer or to do anything. There's usually always a hidden fee with the transfer, but that usually
Hmm.
comes out of what you transfer. So if I have one whole Bitcoin and I'm
Hmm.
transferring it to someone, I will not pay a fee, but my whole Bitcoin probably won't arrive. It'll be
Yeah.
everything but a
Manage the
small
fee.
little
Yeah.
fraction, and that's it. Like that is to get deducted from that. Not when somebody said, "Well, send me 1,000 and then I'm gonna let the money go." Nah, they robbed us. They got
Hmm.
you. They got me like that. They got
Yeah.
him like that.
Yeah.
You can't go for that. And those people are fraudsters. They're the bad actors that
Yeah.
you need to be careful about.
Hmm.
But in the
The
cold
learning
storage wallet,
experience, man.
yeah, the cold storage wallets, you're safer with a lot of your
Yeah.
transactions and stuff. So
Hmm.
look into that. We're gonna wrap it up. I know you want to
Yeah.
get ready to, tuck in for the night.
Relax. Yes,
I need
sir.
to, I need to put in. I don't think I did in the description. Put in the link where you can go to and use the promotion. I have a promotional uh code. If you
Okay.
use my promotion code, I will get a little um something for it as a reward, and then you can get a discount on a cold storage wallet. I'll make sure I
Okay.
put that in the next video for you guys. But anything else you want to say, man, before we wrap it up, man?
Nah, just it's the beginning of a new year, and like I said, this is the elevation year. We just gotta cross our T's, dot our I's. Like I said, we gotta build to destroy in order to add on. Saying in a positive way and shit. So gotta get some new positive habits and let go of some, destroy some more old bad habits. Saying, and then we can grow and shit. And let's make this the
Absolutely,
year that we make it happen and shit. Trying to
absolutely.
be trying to be a billionaire, millionaire this year, man. End of 2026.
Yeah, I mean,
Manifest.
hey, shit. I'm with you on that. Is it this is the year of supposed to be the Chinese year of the horse,
Mm-hmm.
the stallion?
Stallion.
Yeah, we're gonna look into we need them thoroughbreds to come,
Through.
trotting down the daggone, down the path and
You
blazing the
know,
path. Something.
Gotta grab them reins, baby.
Yeah, man.
Ah,
Yeah,
let's do
man.
that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we riding bulls this year, baby. We ain't fucking with the motherfucking stallion. We
It's,
riding bulls this year, baby.
it's a bull market.
Facts.
I'm very bullish this year. I'm very bullish, man. So,
Yes, yes.
all right, we're gonna
It's a lot of regulations and things coming in this year, so it's gonna be something positive for crypto.
we look forward to this Clarity Act. It's a Clarity Act and the Fed cutting more rates and
Rates,
printing
yep,
money.
yeah.
Um, that sounds like a combination for a perfect, launch pad to
And they
send
got
us to the moon.
Yep.
You
And they're
know,
gonna shake shit up because they assigning a new Fed chair.
our new Fetcher, so he's gonna already know what to get in there and do.
Dude, yep. It's gonna, it's a Trump chair, so
He's
he's
a
gonna
son.
have Trump on it. I mean, Trump gonna have him on it, like getting his regulations and all this shit there right. And shit, you know.
Oh yeah, and amongst other things, because we have a war that's probably getting ready to start, and that
Mm,
means money. You know,
mm,
anytime you get a daggone war going on it that we
yeah.
get involved in,
The Republicans, they always want to do war because war generate
yeah,
currency,
yeah, that stock market gonna be on fire. Every
fire,
commodity, all that's
defense,
gonna
defense
start
stocks, everything. You know what I'm saying? Booming.
building materials and everything about to start booming. And again, it's
Yeah.
gonna happen again. It's getting ready to happen again. People don't see
Hmm.
that, then I don't think they understand how this thing works. You know what I'm saying? They have
Hmm.
not been paying attention over the last past administrations and watching
Hmm.
these people line their pockets and just get rich off of, the scenarios that they could create,
Hmm.
and things that they do. So, they're gonna do it all over again. So this time
Yeah.
around, we're
Rinse and
on.
repeat.
Yeah, we're on to them now. Hey,
Yeah.
on
That's what
to
I'm
them,
saying.
and we're going to
Yeah.
make sure that
See,
we
we're
benefit.
looking at shit from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like the rich get rich off a recession, but we look at a recession like something negative. But all the investors look at a recession as an opportunity.
Yeah, because there's blood
Getting
in the
everything at
streets.
discount. Getting
Yeah,
everything at a discount and shit
that's why they
during a
say buy.
recession.
They say buy when there's blood in the streets.
Street. Yep.
Everybody's out here. It's a their knuckles bleeding right now because it's a dog fight out here,
Dog
and
eat dog.
that's where you're gonna find the best, opportunities. But you
Opportunities.
got to get
Hmm.
out there and really, you got to take it. You
Get
got to.
muddy.
So yeah, and that's what it boils down to. So we know we're gonna wrap it up. We it
Yeah.
was Friday night. You know what I'm saying? We still got
Hmm.
we got some rest of the evening and stuff to kind of wind down.
Yeah.
It's the New Year, first Friday. I mean, it don't mean turn up. You can sit back and relax and watch the numbers
Yeah.
just run up.
Yeah.
You
That's
know what
it.
I'm saying? We ain't got to
Sit
turn up.
and sit. I'm about to
That's
get into my book, take me a little shower, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Sit back, twist
yeah.
me up something, and, get a little tutelage, fall asleep to that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
And
Shit.
I missed you though. I didn't get a chance to come in. You know what I'm saying? Kick it with you.
Yeah, man.
I did come by, so I just didn't come.
I don't know what y'all was thinking, man.
That was
Come
tough.
to
I thought we was
come to
gonna
the
come.
door, nigga.
That's why I said because after we drove over there, right? Then I'm like,
Why you didn't come to the door?
Why did we drive over here if you're not gonna go knock on his door? Like he's in the house. It's not like
Yeah.
he ain't home. He's there.
Home. Yeah.
Then we went to Joe crib. He did the same over there.
Say,
We over there, and I said, man, go knock on his door. I said, we didn't drive that. So he goes knocks on Joe's door. Then he says, yeah, Joe said park the car and come inside. And I'm saying, like, well, why we didn't do that when we was over at T? You could have went. We didn't have to stay long. We could have been here for, you know,
just see
30
the peoples and
minutes.
shit. I want
Yeah,
you to see my son, my parents.
yeah. You're
Ain't like
paying
y'all
for
don't
people.
know the family shit.
Well, Chef is
No,
sometimey too.
that stuff crazy.
He's just he be in the mood, but then he get cold feet. Like I guess he didn't want to go knock on the door. I was like, man, go knock on the door. I'm gonna come with you, man.
Like
That's
he
what I
don't
told him. I
know.
said, I'm coming with you. Let's go knock on
Yeah,
the door today.
stuff crazy, man. It's all good though. We got
Uh,
some more. We gotta get some more reunions this summer anyway. It's the weather break, man. Get all the fellas together, man.
yeah, no
Have
doubt,
some building sessions and shit, man.
no doubt, no
You know what I
doubt.
mean?
Catch a game or something. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah, yeah, son. You
Yeah.
know,
So we
shit
can
old
even we
people
could do a
do.
tell. We can get together, catch a game, tailgate. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
all of
Like
that
old
good
times
shit.
and stuff, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know
Hell yeah.
that'd be
But yeah,
cool.
we're gonna stay in contact and get this shit in order, man. Build
Okay.
this legacy, create this generational wealth, man, and keep it moving, man.
Yeah, and then I'll keep you up on some anything I hear of some new upcoming maybe some hidden gems that
Yes.
have some opportunities to them, so that we can benefit. I'm gonna try to make sure I keep my ears open for it, because when I
Yeah.
do sound the alarm, I want to see us all get it, man. I don't want
Get
to
in.
miss
Yes.
nothing, man. I mean, I was mad. I was really. I woke up.
Hell yeah.
I woke up and I was like, "Ooh!" I said, "Oh shoot!" I
Let me
was like,
hit
"Let me
T.
find my." Yeah, I was looking like, yeah, and I said, I was thinking, I said, he probably didn't buy any.
No.
He probably did.
Nah.
But you
I'm
know what?
set up
That's
now
okay.
though.
That's okay,
Yeah.
because if it was a dud, you know, it would have been a loss. But this wasn't really any loss. I'd made a few
Nah.
dollars, but I didn't make as much as I should have, because I bought the wrong one. But there were more than one of them. I don't know if I told you that. I said you
Yeah.
got to make sure you get the right one. I don't know if I told
Hmm.
you that. I might have got.
I don't know. I don't remember you
Anyway.
saying that, but I know I had the Phantom wallet, but I didn't have no Solano up there yet, so I probably would have missed it anyway. Shit.
All right. Well, we'll make sure we don't
Mm.
miss the next one.
Yes, sir.
All
Facts.
right, man. You have a great rest
2026,
of your
we ain't
evening.
missing no opportunities. Yeah, you too, family.
Yeah, man. I love you, man. Peace and
All right.
blessings, man. You have a good one, and we get back at you, man.
Yes, sir. One love, baby. Love you.
All right.
Peace.
Peace. There it is. There it is. The one, the only true stone, Mr. T. All right. Before I end this, let me see what we got here. Let me see. So we're still above $2, y'all. That's good, man. It's 202. Uh, I think on the most high we got up to today was just says 203. So, you know, we're gonna see what happens over the next week. This is the type of momentum that it's a sign of good things to come, right? These markets can be volatile. This is a show of um, volume, not volatility. See, volume and volatility, you know, and it's just like Nordic talk, because when you talk about the volume of how many gallons of volume is something that will fill a whole space. This is filling up. This is pushing. These numbers are being pushed up because of the volume that is behind this, and there's a lot of demand, pent up demand. I'm thinking it's going to kind of push price movement up higher over the next week and months and throughout this year, especially the first quarter of the year. Just keep an eye on it, you guys. All right. I'm going to go. I'm tired. Look at me. I'm tired. Tired. Very tired. Had a long day. Had a long day. You know? And so my night begins. All right. You guys have a great one. Thank you for joining. Thanks for the likes. Hit the subscribe. And leave a comment. Share the video. Come back and catch me on the next one. I'm your boy, and Happy New Year's.